Greg White.
But I live in Estonia. Okay. I study there.
Yeah, I started to think why you can speak with Marek.
Really did. I took one course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I can speak to Marika. She knows me.
Yeah, that's it's good for me because Marika can speak English.
Okay?
Yeah. I mean, quite similar, but the words are totally different.
Kaksi kolmi. That's what I can. That's what I needed. And wait.
Archers, we have about 15 minutes. 15 minutes until we will begin. 2 practice seconds.
both of those words a lot between.
What does perkele mean?
It's like
It sounds really, really fun.
perkele. Mitä vittua is what the fuck?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Vegas Shoot 2024. Final day of competition here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Final day at the South Point Hotel and Casino as we await the announcement of where this shoot's going to go next year. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside Catalina G. Noriega, part of the USA Archery Women's Recurve team. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And we're just chilling. I
Yep.
know you're not the expert on compound archery. It's not what we're here to do. We're going to pick your brain about recurve, about shooting in general. But we're here for the top bales. So this is the top bale line for the Championship Open category, as well as the Championship Compound Female category. So we could have a winner. We've already had some winners here today with a line that just shot.
Yeah.
In your class, we had from Korea Lim Duna, I
Yes.
believe, who won.
Yeah.
A couple points over Casey Koffold. Brady Ellison ended up winning
Yep.
his 10th Vegas win.
Wow.
Dude,
I
how
did
crazy
not know
is that?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And he actually made a comment too. I got to speak with him after the fact, and he was just like, I'm not really sure if anybody's won 10 Vegases before in the championship class, and that's some research we're going to have to do. As we're in
Yeah.
our 54th year, 58th year.
Yeah. It sounds like right. I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
won 10.
10
That's
of 'em-
crazy.
10 of them's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine, Catalina, that this is an Olympic year, Olympics down the road just a few months. Getting some wins back-to-back would be pretty confidence-inspiring, I would think, even though it's
Yeah.
indoor? Or what do you think?
Yeah. I still think even though it's indoor, competition is competition, and
Yeah.
a win is a win, and everything counts, and it's confidence.
Yeah, and nerves are nerves.
Yeah.
right?
Nerves are nerves, and when you're like, I think the scores were pretty tight. Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty tight.
Yeah, so like he said yesterday, it was going to be a dogfight, and it was, and it's.
I actually think that he won by a single point.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now. I have it. There it is. So Brady ends up with an 890, and Marcus de Almeida, who he was in a battle with last night, ends up 889. So
Wow.
1 point.
Yeah, like I mean, that tight of fight, like that's the nerves you need,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have the ability to pull up the scorecard, but I just don't have it up right now. I would definitely like to see that scorecard. But for Brady Ellison's win, he goes 297 points on day number 1 out of a possible 300. He goes 296 on day 2 and 297 today, and that
Wow.
consistency paid off.
Yeah.
Marcus de Almeida goes 298. Of course, a couple of years ago, Brady was able to pull off the perfect 900. How did your shooting weekend? What a segue into your shooting weekend. But how'd it go?
I struggled. I think I've been struggling, like this indoor season. But it's okay. Like, it's Olympic year, so there's like a lot of learning and just experience. Like I said, like it's competition, so it's good to have it. It's good to be here and kind of learn more about my shot. Yeah.
How different is Vegas from some of the other tournaments you go to in terms of your off-range demands? I mean, you shoot for Hoyt. Do they say, hey, listen, we need you here to sign autographs? Or do people stop you in the area here and say, oh, I've seen you here shoot? Like, is it like that more so here than in any other place?
I would think so, yeah. There's the Meet the Pros, and, like, we have to go do that, and, like, it's amazing. It's so cool that, like, kids will, like, look up to us, like, look up to me. That's insane to think about. But, yeah, like, just talk to, like, all the sponsors and talk to people, and, like, it's very different than, like, other competitions, I would say. Like, this is more so focused on, like, kind of, like, people and the sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, so last year we had a record like 3,961. Now
Yes.
it's just a couple shy of 4,500. Did you feel the difference of like extra people this year?
I think so. It's always busy, like, walking through the hallways, like, the elevators, everything. But I did feel like this year was more. Like, it was very, very busy. And
Did you stay here at the South Point? Because you don't have to stay here,
No.
but there are rooms here. Did you stay
yeah,
here?
I did stay here.
Also, across the street, there are like these townhome things, which is also nice. You get a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah.
Like I'm staying on a high floor. So there's
Here
like
at the South Point?
Yeah, at the South. So there's 2 banks of like elevators, right? There's one that goes from like
Yes.
2nd floor to 12.
Yeah.
And then there's no 13th floor, of course, superstition. Then
Yeah.
14 to 25. And I've been staying at 14 to 25, and dude, it has been like every elevator I've taken except maybe 2, I've had to wait in line.
It's been I'm on the other side, and it's been
chill, right?
Really
Yeah,
chill.
I know.
It's really chill.
Every time I turn the corner, I'm like, oh, come on.
Come
but
on, yeah.
again,
yeah.
last year here, and tonight we'll have the announcement as to where it's going. We do know that it's going to the Strip. And so that's
and
what do you think about that? I mean,
Well-
because here we're kind of south. We're what, 4 miles south of the Strip, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. I think we're about 4 miles south,
Yeah.
right off of Vegas Boulevard. It's a couple miles up the road to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. But now going to the Strip and having people, you know, be able to access like all the other places on the Strip, you think that's a good thing, or do you like being kind of away from the Strip?
Well, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I was at the Strip yesterday. I was walking around a little bit, and
Oh, were you shopping?
no, I wasn't shopping. I was just walking.
Look, I'm not saying that as I'm saying that because her and her best friend love to shop.
We do, but not yesterday.
Okay.
But it was really, really busy, and like we went into a couple hotels and like just walking, like no archery. Like I was kind of like, wow. Next year, with imagine like adding 4,000 people with bows to that, might be a little crazy. But I still think it's really cool. Like it might bring more people in because it's gonna be closer to the Strip. Like you can go out more, explore like, Las Vegas.
I also think like the place that we're going to go, or I think we're
Do
going.
you know?
No, I don't know. I don't know where we're going.
I have no idea.
But I would imagine that this place is going to have like more elevators, and it's kind of built for bigger crowds as well.
Like for conventions. And
Oh
stuff?
yeah. I mean, there's definitely more room. I mean, I think one of the biggest things for this shoot is that we've outgrown this place.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I remember coming here just a couple of years ago when you had they just opened 24-hour practice, and you still couldn't shoot. Like I went down one time at 2 a.m. and there was a line, like you could only shoot like 12 arrows, and then you had to get off the line because it was so busy.
Wow.
For the amateurs, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, and then they started like VIP practice or practice for pros, and that was like by the horse in the middle and up the stairs and everything. Now they've moved it around. So I think they've pretty much outgrown it. They had to go to a 5th shooting line this year where we've only had 4 before.
Yeah.
And so that puts a lot of stress on the staff as well because all these judges have to stay up late and everything else. So I think from my personal standpoint, I'm happy that they're going to try someplace else.
Yeah.
And to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think it's cool. And like the first day, like I was here watching the 10K a day, and like they finished their line and they had to wait because some 3 people or like maybe more were shooting in a different hall, different line because it was too full. Like no, like the compound open, like they didn't fit here.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy to think about. Like, but yeah, it's.
Yeah, that was 45 minutes of downtime when we were waiting for. Louis Holmes was one of them, and he was in arena number 2, and they were just like, I think they were 5 ends behind the line here. So everybody just kind of had to sit around and wait, and they were on, and they did, at least they waited, which was great, because they did shoot those 300s, and I believe both of the athletes that were waiting are here in the arena, because what we've done now for this line is we had Friday and Saturday. You can kind of look at them basically as almost like qualification rounds. I mean, every point matters here.
Yes.
Even for recurve, you know, there's no set system. You guys are just shooting for points. You guys and gals are shooting for points. So basically what happens is, like, let's just say Catalina and I shot the same category for some reason, the same bow or whatever. We would be paired together. Have we shot actually on a bale together?
I think we did.
Yeah,
I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. that was the Casey, the number 1 bale. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get basically randomly paired up with your bail mates, and that's going to be either 3 or 2 other people. So you're going to have a minimum 3 people on your bail because you have 3 assignments basically that have to happen. One person's going to score, one person score on paper, one person's going to score digitally, and then someone's going to call arrows.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, what happens is that you're going to be with your bail for those first 2. As you can clearly see, and I mean, look at the names on these bales. So what I'm saying is that like Mike Schlusser shot all the way down at the other end. Kyle Douglas is going to shoot somewhere else. Jimmy Lutz somewhere else. But by the time we get to the 3rd day, they peer everybody up. So basically, they're doing it based on your score. So that bale, 128, is the top bale for the Championship Open with Mike Schlusser, Matthias Fullerton, Nico Girard, and Jimmy Lutz all shooting on the same bale. You've had to do this when you were in second or third place on the, on that #1 bale. Does doing this add pressure to the shooting because you're on the bale with people? Do you like not being paired with the top people the first 2 days, and you can almost have anonymity in a way on your bale if you're tucked away on target, 166 or something? What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's some benefit kind of not knowing because it's easier to just focus on yourself, at least for me. But at the same time, when you're competition brings the level higher, so you will see in that top bale, in that last day, everyone shoots really high scores, and it's just really high level, and everyone's kind of competing and pushing each other. So I think it's a little bit of both. But yeah, and you'll see I don't know, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Matthias Fullerton and Mike Schlusser both clean 600 so far at 59 X's apiece. Nico Girard, who shot a 60 the first day, dropped a couple yesterday. He's at 58. Kyle Douglas, who you're looking at right there, has got 57 X's. So that's why he's on bale #2, because Jimmy Letts also shoots 58 with Nico Girard. So Kyle Douglas and Bodie Turner are on the same bale. You saw Braden Gellantine also on that bale. Then you have big names next to him: Stefan Hansen, Robert Householder, Jacob Marlowe, Christopher Perkins, Schluzars. I mean, the names are just, there's so many people here, and it's going to be very interesting how many we have. So there's 43.
Who are still clean.
That are still clean.
Wow.
So how many are going to drop? Because you got to shoot a perfect 300 today. The X count is kind of irrelevant. You just got to shoot 300 points in order to give yourself an opportunity to go shoot tonight.
Yes.
So we had 73 the first day. We have cut to 43 today.
Yeah.
What's your prediction? Who's going to make the finals? Not Lucky Dog. That's one person, all the 899s. But what's your prediction?
I would say I think something like 30, maybe 32 people will be clean.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe it's a little high, but I feel like the number of people, 73 the first day, 43 today, I feel like that's a little higher than usual.
Yeah. I believe you're right, yeah.
So I think it's going to be high tonight, and I think that's really cool. I love watching the shoot off. It's so unique and so original. NFA does it in other tournaments, but this is the one. You know?
This is the one. $58,000 on the line just from the NFAA.
Wow.
If you win with a Matthews, it's another $50,000.
No way.
And if you, and then let's say that you have a stabilizer sponsor. You know what I mean? If you had
money.
Schrute or something, maybe they are going to pay you $1,000 or $5,000. You have all these other secondary sponsors, and you can sit on the podium with
$100,000
or
more.
Well over, $120,000 worth of checks. That's pretty good for 3 days worth of work.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's really hard to imagine. As a recurve, you can't make that money. Not even at the Olympics, probably.
Well, listen, Catalina, this is an open category. You can shoot. It doesn't matter, men, women, compound, recurve. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And so tonight, coming up, though, we want to make you aware. You want to definitely check out Archery Plus. That's going to be kind of the new central focal point for a lot of archery, especially on the World Archery front. It's archery.tv. You want to go check out that QR code that's at the bottom of your screen, or go to Archery TV and get signed up. So this coverage we're providing you for the last 2 days, and this stuff is all provided for you. However, tonight the shoot is going to be $4.99. That money that you're going to spend tonight, you'll have the Vegas shoot, and you'll be able to stream that live. You'll be able to have it on video on demand. That money that you spend actually goes back to the NFAA Foundation, and that money will go directly to Youth Scholarship Fund.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, and don't forget, you can also subscribe for the year. And if you subscribe for the year, it's not like an additional $4.99. So if you sign up for the entire year, which is $30 for the entire year of archery, that's going to be all that World Archery stuff, the World Cups and all that. Are you heading off to World Cups?
Yeah, I'll be going so far, that I know of, China, Shanghai, and Korea.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some stuff too. We'll announce that a little bit later on, in the year, as if my involvement in doing some video stuff with World Archery too. It's going to be fun. But archery.tv is where you're going to go. Scan that QR code right there. Get signed up now. Get yourself a subscription, and make sure if there's a place that says you want information on what's going on, definitely get that, because you get an email. It's going to tell you hey, this tournament's coming up, you want to watch this. But you get subscribed for the year, and tonight is included. So it looks like we're going to get some things rolling here, as this line's supposed to start at the top of the hour, and it is a minute away. So starting on time.
I'm excited.
And these first 2 ends are going to be practice ends. How much emphasis do you, Catalina G. Noriega, put on those 2 first practice ends?
Well, I think the first 2 practice ends here are important. I don't know how much it matters with compound, but with recurve, the lighting can really change.
It's the same.
Yeah, so it can really change. It could change your sight slightly, and like for these guys, it's like really important that their sight is on.
Yeah.
So I think those first 2 ends are like important, and you need to be able to sight in like properly with the lighting and everything, because it is really different from just the practice range that's right next door to here, completely different. So.
Now, when you shoot World Cups, you're shooting set point system, right?
Yes.
Where each end, whoever has the highest point, they're going to get 2 set points, and the first to 6 wins.
Yeah.
But in these couple of matches you've shot in the last couple of weeks, you get cumulative stuff. Do you
Yeah.
like going back and forth and having a shoot where you are cumulative?
Personally, no.
Okay.
I like the set system. I like the matches style. Like I'm not a fan of like the cumulative. It just doesn't, because I've done recurve kind of all my life. Like that's always been the way it was. Like you just qualify and then you go and you do the matches, and that's where like the medals are. And not having that, it kind of feels like part of the competition is missing. But that's just personally.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, as part of the flavor, you know.
Yeah, but it's cool like that. It's different. I mean, I think for compound it's much more common. Like even in matches, they do cumulative score. So it's I don't know.
Yeah, look, if you're local to like a shop and you have some people that come to Vegas and want to shoot it, then for sure, you know, you can come up with a tournament format. I've done this a couple of times with like Lancaster warm-ups as well as Vegas warm-ups, where there'll be like a 30-arrow qualifier, and then they'll have like a shoot-off type format.
Yeah.
You know, where they do exactly the way the shoot-off is, trying to give people experience if they get to a 900. And so that's kind of fun too, is that you can do and copy this similar format at your local club during indoor season.
Yeah.
Okay, you see that there's 4 targets on the bales. As we look at, there's Jacob Marlowe grabbing himself a big gasp of air. Call that a yawn. Christopher Perkins just on the left part of your screen. Kyle Douglas in the middle having some conversations. This is a very interesting time to shoot, because with these 43 archers that are all clean right now, you've got to individually figure out how you're going to deal with these nerves. In your point of view, having all the experience you have in archery, not experiencing this particular situation, but I'm curious what you think would be today's most difficult arrow. The first one of this round or the last one of this round? Yeah. Because there's a variation.
Yeah.
Shooters will tell me different stuff.
I personally think the last one, like if I struggle with one or the other, it'd be the last arrow, because the first one, you can kind of come in like strong, just like you're just aggressive, ready to go, boom, 10 or X, I don't know. But the last one is where that's like, okay, like this is it, like last one.
Yeah.
But
like
I don't know.
I've shot 89 arrows
89
clean.
arrows
All
clean.
I have to do,
one more.
You got to not let those thoughts like creep into your
for
head,
sure.
and that's where the mental game comes into it. Is like, oh, it's just another practice arrow. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
But the bottom targets are your CD, so left will be C and right will be D, and bottom at the Vegas shoot, NFA always shoots first, and then the top shoots second. When we get to the halfway point, we're going to change our target faces to clean target faces, and then those shooters on the top will rotate to the bottom, and the bottom rotates to the top. And how is it for recurve? I know that some people, not at this level that we're watching right now, but definitely in the flight, some people struggle with the top to bottom movement. And not only do they accidentally shoot the wrong target after you switch, but it's just even the angle of attack of shooting. Do you ever have issues with going up and down? Because normally outdoors, you're just shooting a single spot that's in the same place all the time.
It's definitely different. Like, it's not something that I'm used to, or like I would say most recurves are used to. I think compounds, at least in the U.S., there's more NFA stuff, I think. You correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. Yeah, for sure.
But they do a lot, like, more of this style a lot more often. My first year in Vegas, I don't know, some 5 years ago, I shot the wrong target. Like, I got confused. And yeah, a lot of people do struggle with that. I think, like, you know, we all joke about it on the line, like, yeah, we've all done it. Like, we've all shot the wrong target. So I think it's part of it. But you get to a certain point where I think you learn, and like you know what to expect. And like if you've done this a couple times, like I personally don't find it like that big of an issue to switch anymore. But I
Anymore,
would
yeah.
say like
Initially.
maybe initially it was
And
a
you know,
little bit of a shock.
I've also found that shooting amateur and shooting pro, it can be a little different. It depends on your bail
Yeah.
too. The first day, you'll have people that'll come up to the line. If you start it on the top and then you switch to the bottom, you'll have people that'll be, all right, but like literally like saying bottom target,
Bottom target, yeah.
And those, it's just little cues that help you out from the community.
Yes.
And then generally, since bottom shoots first, if you're on the top and you go to the bottom, that's the
You'll
harder
see the
one.
arrow.
Because if you drop back and you were on the bottom for the first 5 ends and you go right to the bottom, you're like, there's an arrow sitting in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, I'm on top.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of people prefer to shoot bottom first, because when they move up top, like they can kind of like they can see that there's arrows on the bottom and they'll like remind themselves to shoot up.
And there's other people
Yeah.
that want to shoot the opposite because, and I find this very interesting, the most of the time the answer I get of people that want to start up top first and move to the bottom is because they finish first.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
Yes.
like, well, you
It's
should
the
have to shoot
same.
your end, but yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, I like that better. And then the other people, I've noticed that people that aren't as tall as I am, some of those people will like to start on top first because they are a little bit fresher, even though it's only 30, and I
yeah.
mean only 30 from your perspective.
Yes.
How many arrows would you shoot a day when you practice?
Like anywhere like 200 to 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 30 must feel, anyway, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But so some of the people that aren't as tall as I am are like, I like to be stronger to be able to hold the bow up higher. And then as I get a little bit fatigued, I can
Go
start down.
down.
So it's so
preference,
It is
yeah.
preference. And to know if you come to the Vegas shoot that when you get your assignment, like let's say that you get an assignment in your 144A, that is just how the order is going to be on the scorecard and on the actual tablet itself. But it's first come, first serve where you hang your target.
Yeah, and I think like I was just kind of around when the last line finished, and like everyone from this line just kind of like swarmed in to put their target up like where they want it. Like everyone has a preference, everyone
Yeah.
has like where they want it, and it's like a fight to get it on. So
Yeah, so for me yesterday, I ended up shooting my second line of the weekend with the Championship Compound female division. And they had 3 people on their bail the first day. And so I just kind of felt like I don't want to get involved because I'll shoot, I wasn't shooting like a rock star or anything. So I just let them hang their targets first, and then wherever the empty spot was, I just hung my target there.
yeah,
And so it ended up being the top, but I didn't get a lot of practice this off season like I normally would. And so when I was practicing, I was like a dope and hanging all the targets up high. So I struggled on the bottom target because I didn't practice it, and that's the difference.
yeah.
There is the unbelievably talented field in the Championship Compound female division. I like that let down if you're not feeling it. By the way, the shot clock is 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to shoot 3 arrows. So if something's not feeling right, just let it down. There's a shooter who didn't look like he enjoyed that shot very much. So we've had, some of the classes are all done. We had a 7 a.m. line, and generally what they do in the 7 a.m. line is they're going to group people that are a little bit further down the order. So you get punished
Yeah.
if you're not shooting that well. My line was at 7.
Mine too.
I didn't shoot. I slept. But yeah, I know. I have to be on air all day, and I was like, not getting up at 5 to go shoot today. But there were enough people on my bail. There were 4 people, so 3's fine. So anyway, and then they had your bare bow division, your championship senior division. You had your
recurve divisions.
you had your recurve divisions. They all shot at 9:30, and that's why we have those done. There are some things that might carry over to tonight's program. Meaning, like, I know second place is tied in the championship senior division, so more than likely they're going to have to shoot off, and they'll shoot
Okay.
off, before the Vegas shoot gets going.
Yeah.
On the coverage we provide on archery.tv. And looks like there's some youth shooters down there as well. Right, so that's
Yeah.
probably the championship.
The
You
youth.
see, like, just behind Mike Schlusser,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of young faces. So you see Schlusser down there. He's in the Hoyt shirt. Kind of middle right part of your screen is Matthias Fullerton, the PSE jersey on. And there's Bodie Turner next to him, Kyle Douglas. If you're tuning in for the first time this year or just started to watch archery, Kyle Douglas is, yep, he's shooting a Matthews. It's new for him this year. And there's Christopher Perkins. He's got old yellow out, but this is the new Matthews title. So Perkins' story is pretty funny with this yellow bow he has. He had this TRX, I think it was a 38 Gen 2 bow that he shot, and he won a ton of stuff with it. And then, as archers do in the off season, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna park that bow. That was a good one, let me get another one. Didn't shoot as well, breaks it out mid-season, starts shooting great with it, decides again, I'm gonna park it.
Oh,
so
no.
I think that, just it made sense for him when the yellow was offered in this new Matthews title to just go ahead and grab a yellow bow. And I mean, so far so good.
Yeah.
So far so good for him. Bronski there, Jacob Marlowe. There's Braden Galantine just to the top and darting with the gas hat. Sounds like he's talking to Bodie a little bit, or looks like he's talking to Bodie a little bit. So that should have been, I'm going to tell you, for Nico Girard, that's obviously the bottom right target. You can see, I think he's going to have to move his target face a little bit, because the first arrow that I saw in that same hole was probably 3 or 4 inches out, and now it's all the way up to the veins, and you definitely don't want pass-throughs. That ruins your day.
Yeah.
If you have to go shoot another arrow. But as you would expect on the #1 bale, it's not bale #1, it's the number one bale. Yeah.
Yeah.
All those arrows look clean.
Looks like the top left one on that one is also getting a pass through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll look at that, and these Merle targets do, especially here in the arena, in arena #1, really critical to move your target face in a place that works, because there's so many archers that shoot so many in the middle.
Yeah.
Over time. There's our boy, looking good with that. He's been running that thing all weekend long. He came up to me yesterday, said, thanks for figuring my name out, and all my boys back home have been saying it. Oh, I love it. So you know what that is, though, right? You don't know what that is?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
So that is so when you come here and you register, you get a swag bag, right? You get the swag bag. That is what NFAA gave everybody as the bigger prize. That's actually to wrap your luggage in, so you know that's like the luggage strap.
I didn't open it.
You didn't. Yeah. It's mostly You throw it in your bag, take it home. Yeah, of course. You get like a pen in there. They give you target pins. So that's the one thing. Like when you get your swag bag, and they tell you this, there are no target pins provided at the bale. You actually have to bring your own.
Yeah. I think it's a cool system, because it makes people, you have to take them out and you have to clean up your target and like not leave a mess, kind of.
All right,
I think that's why they do it.
Sportsmanship, okay. Walking around, and these archers are going to just tell each other, good luck, good luck, good luck. Are they sincere about it? No. Why would you be? I mean, Mike's such a good dude. Mike Schlusser is such a good dude. And he wants people to perform at their best, because I know that for Mike, and talking with him, he would rather compete against someone who is at their best.
Yeah.
But for Jimmy Lutz, last night he was able to defeat Mike Schlusser, and I think Jimmy was telling me this morning that he's gone up against Mike 8 times and 7 times lost. So that was the first time. So Jimmy was pretty happy.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
they went against each other in Nimes for the gold medal match as well.
I know.
Mike won that one. So. Yeah.
It was pretty funny though, because Jimmy had told me that earlier in the day when he was shooting, he drank like a Monster Energy, and he said he was so jittery like the first 4 ends, and then it calmed down, and he said by the time he got to that gold medal match, he said he was so chill. And you could see it in the shooting. I mean, everything looked good. Yeah. All right, so here we go. This is going to be our first end of scoring. Jimmy Lutz right in the middle, getting after it straight away. Goes right back to full draw. And Jimmy starts off. He said last night he was aiming really, really well.
Yeah.
And you have those days, you know. It's like was it the end of yesterday? One of those days I talked to Mike, and he shot, it was yesterday. He shot 60, or shot 30 X's yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, hey, great shoot. And he goes, man, it was a battle all day long. And somebody was there going, I was watching him. He battled, but everything was in the X. I'm like, well, you know, but like a mentality of a Mike Schlusser is he would rather have everything inside out. Like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like if I'm cutting the line on an X and I'm sitting there going like, I just like to hit 10s. That'd be nice.
I think there's days where, like you struggle and maybe like the score's still good. Obviously, he still shot 30 X's. Doesn't mean, like, there's days that are easier to shoot, I think, for archer. Like, would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Days that just feel easy, days that feel harder.
Yeah, you just roll into it and you're just like, sweet. And then you leave and go, can I have that every day?
Yeah.
So Jimmy Lutz, that's relatively uncharacteristic. We don't see Jimmy. I mean, obviously, when there's a 20-second shot clock, you're not letting down. But I like
Yeah.
that he's taking his time. There's still 45 seconds remaining on this shot clock.
Yeah.
See, and that letdown pays off, right? He didn't feel the shot was good. He let down, and then he just puts it right where it needs to be.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the first arrow versus the last arrow. I think there's also a little bit of nerves of the last arrow of the first end.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about this guy? 10K a day winner yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
Deotani, he broke out the skinnies and he was able to get it done.
Yeah.
Another heartbreaker for Stefan Hansen, who has just been shooting his brains out all season.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been able to close that deal. And we looked at his target first, and it was like, wait a second, Stefan actually shot inside out with a larger diameter arrow, and then everybody was falling.
Yeah.
And not him.
Not him.
He was able to take it
Yeah.
to a second arrow and close
Yeah.
it out. The question is, he had said he's going to the tables and he's going to put it all on one, put it all down on one. So I don't know what happened.
The guy that won?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, 10,000. He was going to go cash the check and go put it down on the roulette table on a number and then just let it ride.
No. That's so scary.
First shot from Schlusser's a little low. As long as it catches a
He's
10.
still
What we're
10.
looking for here is really, at this point, you're just kind of seeding, right? So the middle most ring, I'll show you here real quick. That's the number of shooters that have been here, so just ignore that. But see, when you look at this target here, if you look at a World Archery face, if you're familiar with it, we generally don't have, on World Archery, we don't have this bigger 10 ring. But the X for compounds, the X is also a 10 value. So anything in this ring is 10 value. The X's are used more as tiebreakers, or they're also used to kind of seed you and rank you.
Yeah.
So it's 10 ring here. Anything in this is a 9, 8, 7, 6. So anything outside of here, you shoot but you do have the option to shoot a single spot
There is
or
a
a three
single
spot.
spot that will go all the way out to like a 1, but it's in the center. I think most people shoot this one.
Yeah.
But like there is, especially recurves, like there is some recurves that choose to shoot a single spot. Since, I don't know, preference, but.
So for Mike Schlusser, maybe that one dropped down after 30 X's yesterday. And that's what I was saying. For some people, it's like, let me get this first arrow center. That's why practice, those 6 arrows you shoot in practice can be very important.
Yeah.
Because it does build just a little bit of confidence going
Yeah.
in. So for Fullerton, Matthias Fullerton, so for the top bale, just kind of looks like everybody's good on
Yeah.
the top 8.
Yeah.
No problems. We're just looking more at X counts.
Looks like Gerard didn't move his target.
No, he didn't.
Still getting a little pass through there.
We'll see if that increases or not.
Yeah.
So when we look at a pass-through arrow, that's going to be difficult because unlike World Archery or USA Archery, here at NFA we don't mark every arrow hole.
No.
And that's part of that whole pass-through situation. So if your arrow passes through and they feel like they can score it, they will score it. If it passes through and the judge determines we cannot score it, you're going to have to go shoot that arrow again. They'll force you to move your target. They'll put a new target face on, and then they'll force you to shoot it again.
Yeah. I had a pass through, I think, my first year in Vegas.
What pounds are you pulling back, like 80?
I think it was like just beat up by like these compounds shooting the same spot. It was the first end of the second half, and I had no idea. I think I was like 14, and I was like, oh no, is it gonna be a miss? Because we haven't. And then the judge, they just gave me, I think it was a 10 because there was only one hole in the target.
Oh yeah,
so it was no problem.
And that's exactly it. If they can determine the score, they will.
Yeah.
But you can see there, just to the left of your screen, it's kind of popping in and out. Right in the middle, actually, Nico Girard. It's getting pretty close to those veins.
Yeah.
He's probably got another 3 or 4 in the exact same hole where you'll see the knock. Yeah, if you're thirsty, you want to drink some coffee on air, we don't care. This is casual. We're just chilling. That's the thing right there is grabbing. I cannot stand grabbing like my veins and then pulling it out. So when it's that in there, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna. For most veins, like they bounce back, and it depends on the type of vein you like to shoot. You can shoot a stiffer vein, you can shoot a softer vein. Obviously, we shoot longer, taller veins indoor when we're shooting the thicker arrows. You stayed with the skinnies.
I stay with the skinnies.
And are the vanes for indoor the same?
Yeah,
Everything's the same. Okay.
I keep everything the same.
Yeah. So the theory is that you're going to shoot a 4-inch vane, a 5-inch vane, something taller than you would shoot outdoor at the 50-meter or the 70-meter range, because you're trying to steer that arrow as quickly as you possibly can, and here you only have 18 meters or 20 yards basically to do it. So that's why you'll see a lot of archers are going to get those larger vanes, because outdoor, the idea is if you're giving it more surface area for the wind to catch, and if you shot a 5-inch vane outdoor, I mean, forget about it. You'd have tail wag, like it would just be nuts.
Yeah.
Especially for you guys having to shoot 70 meters, which if you're from the States, or I don't even know if you're from the UK maybe, that's just about 77 yards.
Yeah.
So don't forget, tonight is coming up. This is the last round to see who can shoot perfect 900s, because the Vegas Shoot 2024 for $58,000 coming up tonight. And the place to watch it is going to be that Archery Plus. It's archery.tv. Scan that QR code. If you subscribe for the season for $30, $30,
it's worth it.
you'll have it for the entire, like it's included. If not, if you just want to sample it, use it once, the Vegas Shoot is $4.99, and that $4.99 is going to go to the NFA Foundation, and all of that money, all the proceeds are going to go directly to the Youth Scholarship Fund, and that is for archers that compete NFA, and they award some scholarships to some folks in big meetings. And look, it can be money that can buy you books, it can be money that buys you some food. I mean, it's any scholarship money helps,
Yeah.
So where are you residing now? You spend a lot of time at the center in Chula Vista. Tell us a little bit about what that center in Chula Vista.
Yeah, so I was there for 5.5 years, so a long time, and it's run by Coach Lee, the national head coach in the U.S., and it's great. I mean, there's if you need to kind of try out, and if you're selected for the program, you get dorm room, you get food, training, like everything kind of included, and it's really nice. Like you get to focus just on archery and everything.
Did it take you far away from home? Like where are you from in general?
I was born in San Diego. I grew up in Mexicali, which is about 2 hours east of San Diego, across the border down in Mexico.
Okay.
And so when I moved to the center.
So do you have dual citizenship?
I do. I have dual citizenship.
Gotcha. Okay.
When I moved to the center, my family was still close, and during COVID, my family ended up moving to San Diego because of COVID, just situations.
Yeah.
So then that brought them even closer, and it was like a 30-minute drive from the center, so I got to see them pretty often.
And then your family drove you crazy, so now you live in Arizona?
Yeah, and then after 5.5 years, I decided it was time to move on, new things, and I'm now in Arizona, and yeah, I like it so far. I've only been there 2 months, so yeah.
I'm a big fan. I went to college out in Arizona.
Yeah.
Shout out to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And yeah, TV truck, I went to college. That's right. I don't know why they're laughing, and they're all baffled. Okay, I actually have a degree. It's not in archery, I can tell you that much. If it was, it'd be failed. Very interesting shot there. And look, this is the thing. You notice that there's a philosophy about, you should have this form. This is like one form and one way to do it. Sometimes you have a bent arm. Sometimes your shoulder sticks out. It's more about repeatability, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think for compound even more so, because it's, well, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the bows, it has a wall, so you can kind of get away with maybe not being in perfect line or having a bent shoulder and stuff like that. So you can see a lot of different styles of shooting. Yeah.
Well, we've already dropped 3. So just like that, we've lost 3, and we're now down to 40 archers.
All right.
That was just after the first end. So I'm trying to see Mike Schlusser, Matthias Fullerton, Nico Girard, Jimmy Lutz, Kyle Douglas, Bodie Turner. We had 25 last year in total. So most of the big names are there. I'm just trying to see if someone jumps out at me who was clean so far and dropped a point. Right now, let me do some math, Catalina, all right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Yeah, this is going to be.
What do you need?
No, I'm gonna use my calculator.
Okay.
Because one of the things that we look at is how many 899s are going to be shot. Because
Oh, yeah.
following this line
Yes.
is going to be the lucky dog competition. And lucky dog is gnarly. It's like one arrow, inside out, blah,
Is
blah,
it
blah,
the
blah.
first arrow? Or is it an
It-
X first and then inside out?
I think it's the same. I think it's the same rules as the 10K a day
Okay.
shoot off,
Okay.
right?
So then it would be X first.
X first is a 10, and then we go to inside
Yeah.
outs. So it normally lasts 3 or 4 arrows.
Yeah.
And after I figure out this lucky dog situation, I will give you an update on the women. So the lucky dog should be a 9.984 average, right? So it looks like 40. Right now, it looks like we have 46 that are 46 at 8. That if they clean this round from this point forward, we'll have 46 that are in the lucky dog.
Yeah, that's a big number also.
Mhm. Big number. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at what the championship compound female, the women, are doing. Currently, we still have 3, not this scoring end. We haven't gotten the scores yet, but Ella Gibson, who you see in the middle of the screen, Darton jersey, Tanya Galantine also in the Darton jersey, and you have Olivia Dean.
Also in the Darton jersey.
Also in the Darton jersey. All 3 of those archers have shot perfect so far. And then you have Leanne Drake and Sarah Lopez and Alexis Ruiz, Paige Pierce. They're all down an arrow. Elisa Roner.
Is there a lucky dog for the women?
No, there's not,
No.
because they don't actually, in this class, they don't go to the actual Championship Open shoot-off.
Okay.
So what they'll do is if there was a 3-way tie, if they end up all tied up, then they're going to do tonight. They will actually go do a shoot-off for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then they'll have to get that all sorted out.
Yeah.
Which I could see. I mean, with that talent, with Ella, Olivia, and Tanya, I mean, they could definitely shoot. I mean, Tanya's shot 900 before.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I think last year was Tanya, Paige, Pierce, and Lico. And there was a shoot-off, if I remember correctly.
And Tanya
She's
won
right
it.
there, yeah.
Tanya Galantine won it. Of course, last year's champ, Chris Schaff, he is right now cruising to the Lucky Dog competition. And I don't mean to spoil this for anybody out there who's just curious as to who might be joining me in the booth. And this, of course, the folks in the TV truck are hearing this for the first time. But if Chris Schaff doesn't win the Lucky Dog, he is committed to coming in and commentating. So we'll have the 2023 Vegas champion here if he doesn't make the Lucky Dog, which is tough for me, okay? Because part of me is rooting for him to make the Lucky Dog. It'd be cool if he went back-to-back Vegas champion. He does it 1 year from shooting a 900 and the next year from Lucky Dog. That would be a first.
That would be a first.
That'd be
Has
kinda-
a Lucky Dog ever won
Yeah.
Vegas?
That's the guy, huh?
Has a Lucky Dog winner ever won
Yeah,
Vegas?
twice. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
So Chris Schaff's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Look at that new PSE hat. That's all retro 70s, man. Bringing me back to my childhood. I like it. The brown and the yellow. Did I just say how old I am? I apologize. That's horrible. Chris awesome. Not really happy with him shooting that one arrow down. He's been shooting great as of late, but now he's got his whole family here, by the way.
Yeah.
3 kids.
3 kids. Yeah, I
His-
saw them. So adorable.
His son Trexton's a little maniac. They do hill climbing. If you've ever seen like Chris's Instagram, that's one of the ways that he unplugs from archery for a little bit. Goes to his son's hill climbing races when he can be there. He travels so much. Obviously, he's on our World Cup team.
Yeah.
His teammate Sawyer Sullivan was right in front of him. There's your 2023 Vegas champion. And what's really funny too, Catalina, is his win was really popular because he's such a good guy. He'd been so close before.
Yeah.
And so it was good for him. Sorry to see him drop 1 point. So we might benefit from his wisdom and knowledge in the booth later on today. But he's trying to get to that Lucky Dog and shoot that 899.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. After that scoring end, let's update you. So still Tanya Galantine, Ella Gibson, Olivia Dean on the women's side are still good. Let's take a look on our men's side. We're down to 37.
Wow.
One end we're down to 37. By the way, in terms of like the people that are on track to shoot the 899s, what ranks them is how many X's they've shot. Austin Taylor out of Canada leads the Lucky Dogs. It's irrelevant in terms of like the Lucky Dog actual shoot, but he's got 62 X's, and Chris Schaff is second with 60 X's.
Wow.
So out of 66 arrows fired, Chris has shot 60 X's, and one of those was a 9, which is just a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Sawyer Sullivan, another big name. Nick Kappers, those 3 are on the USA Archery team. Robin Yatma from Estonia. Drew Hortman, Glenn Bordwell, tons of people that are in. Jesse Broadwater, you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a familiar name. So quite a few. All right,
Yeah.
so we started the day with 43. We're down to 37 in just a couple ends.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeesh.
That's
that pressure.
It's the pressure, yeah.
Chris B, definitely a huge internet sensation, just in front of our 10K a day winner from yesterday. Just trying to take a look to see. So Schlusser's at 65 X's, so Matthias Fullerton just dropped an X. So you have Fullerton, Girard, and Jimmy Lutz all at 64 X's. And once again, at this point, all that was doing was really kind of ranking you in terms of what bail you're going to be on for today. But it's something that these archers definitely take a lot of pride in. No one has shot 90 X's in Vegas.
Wow.
To answer your question from earlier, we've had a couple Lucky Dogs. So when the Vegas shoot turned 50, 8 years ago already,
Wow.
when the Vegas shoot turned 50, that's when the money went from like 20, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it was like 24,000 to win to
Okay.
50,000 overnight.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That was the big one. And it was like, I think 5 shooters, because when it went, you know, it was the 50th anniversary, it was $50,000, and normally we see in the teens to low 20s in terms of people that shoot perfect 900s. And it was
That
like,
year?
yeah, it was like only 5 people made it.
Wow.
And the lucky dog was Sergio Pagni.
Okay.
We get up to shoot, they shoot, and Sergio won it on the first end.
No way.
And was like, what just happened? He won it on the first end.
Wow.
Now, of course, the Vegas shoot, as much as, you know, archery is a cool sport and the spectacle's good, they had to shoot off for second and third before they could, like, celebrate with Sergio. But eventually,
Yes.
he gets on there, the 50th, you know, Vegas shoot. They had a chariot, they had fire, and he does this whole thing. And he was the first one to win it from the lucky dog position, he did on the 50th. And the
That's
other one, of course,
insane.
is Christopher Perkins, who won it a couple years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So I did not know that, but that's really cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have that stat buried in my head
It
because I've been doing this a while.
kind of reminds me, last weekend at Lancaster, they also put a price tag on shooting a 660, 50K,
Yeah.
and nobody shot it.
No way.
Nobody shot
That's
it.
almost a good way to guarantee it, right? Like, can you imagine if this shoot came out and Bruce Cole said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, for anybody who shoots, you know, 990X, obviously that's kind of goes along with
Yeah.
it. You get $1 million.
Whoa.
Can you imagine? Think anybody would ever shoot it? Can you
I
imagine
think-
how nervy you would be if you were 89 X's, you 80, you know, and you have one more to shoot?
I think maybe someone could get it. Maybe not the first. I don't know. I think that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot. Yeah, I mean, in Lancaster, people were close. I think there was, what, 4 or 5 people that shot 59.
Yeah, it's tough. There's been 5 people in the history. I think Bodie's done it twice,
Yeah,
maybe.
Bodie's done it twice.
Rio did it, I think, back in 1923, maybe 1863. Rio's 50 now. Did you ever see the video that Lancaster posted about that? The first 660 shot? It was all 4x3, all like 480 is the resolution. You don't know. You're young. I mean, you're used to seeing stuff in 1080, now 4K. You're used to seeing 16:9. But back in the day, the TV was like this.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
smaller.
I'm like
yeah.
using my hands to cut off a thing. But there's a woman. There's Elisa Rohner right there on the right part of your screen, looking at the tablet scoring. Put on a phenomenal show last night at the World Indoor Series Finals. Lico Areola, of course, the sensation who stormed on the scene and won Vegas at
2 years in a row.
2 years, at 13 and 14, right? 13 she won
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
13
I
and
think
14.
so. I think that's
It's
right.
so hard to contemplate that, you know. winning that kind of thing. Sarah Lopez right there on the left part of your screen, who joined us in the booth a little bit, and she was so excited to come in here and talk. I wish I had more of an opportunity to spend time with her yesterday, but it was really fun. She joined us for the 2K a day. Paige Pierce has been in the booth as well. So it's been a very entertaining. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed our coverage, our enhanced coverage from Vegas, the first time that we've done this.
Yeah.
And, you know, give us a W. Give us a W in the chat. Yeah, it's like I'm a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah.
spam the chat. Give us a W for all this coverage we're providing here.
Do you have a Twitch? Twitch?
I do, yeah. I do have a Twitch, yeah.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Looks like Olivia Dean maybe with one that was out. Yeah. Normally,
Looks
if you're going to
cool.
see a repaired, which you can do, if you repair
Yeah.
that hole, you can kind of take your arrow and work that that paper a little bit, or just, you know, pick it up.
Yeah.
Generally, they're going to do that in practice.
Yeah.
But again, when we get to end number 5, it's mandatory that you're going to have to change your target face when you move up and down. If you do have a close call, like right now we have the judges at the target, and you can see that bell 142. They had an arrow call. They asked the judge over there. The judge made the decision. It could be that the judge will say to them, look, you're wearing this one hole out. I can't really see the line very well, so you're going to have to change your target face.
Yeah.
It could happen. I don't think
Yeah.
it's happening here, but
I
yep,
think it is happening.
Oh,
Or no, I
that's
think
a
they're
repaired.
just, yeah.
Yeah, that's how
yeah.
you repair a hole right there. Just grab the edge right
I
there.
think they're full. What is?
Yeah, so what they're going to do is I think there possibly is a pass-through.
Pass-through.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what they're doing is allowing the archer to get back there, and they're just going to pull that arrow through,
Yeah.
quite possibly, or push it back through. So they pushed it back through, and
Yeah.
now the judge is going to take a look at it and say, okay, if I can score this arrow,
Oh no, they just pulled it.
okay, so
I
there might be a reshoot on that.
think they might be.
We're obviously not privy to the conversation down there, but those are the
Yeah.
options. And that was PJ Deluche.
Or maybe they already called it. No, right? That's.
It's so, yeah, so they're going to say, look, I don't know where this went through, so you're going to have to reshoot it. He's got to, so
He's gotta move his
yeah.
target.
He's got to move it over just slightly. This is what we were talking about before with Matthias Fullerton's target.
Was it Gerard?
No, it was Girard, sorry. Yeah, Nico Girard. You're right. Catalina, you're right. Yeah, look at that low right 9 on that top target.
Oh.
That could have been a practice one, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see
Let's
if
find
we
it.
have. So right now,
I think that was a practice one.
that was a
'cause
practice
he's so
one. He
clean
did shoot a
today.
99 yesterday,
Yeah.
but so far, at least in the scoring we have, and it looks like their scoring is complete, all clean. Let's grab the refresh on the screen. And number 4, we're at 37.
Still 30. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're at 37. And over on the compound female target, top 3, still perfect. Olivia Dean, Kenya Galantine, Ella Gibson. The order switched around a little bit in terms of like how we view it, but they're all in the number 1 position. If that continues the way it is, tonight's gonna be a shoot-off. That'll be fun. Jimmy Lutz back in the mix. And let's see. I don't think my scores have updated yet. Yeah, 69.
I think you can go to the live info instead of that one.
Oh, and just and just have it like refresh itself.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, those are matches.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
All right.
They're pretty quick with it.
Okay.
INCO.net, IANSEO.net. You can go to thevegasshoot.com. There'll be information there, or you can go directly to INCO.net, and you'll see on the right, just kind of upper right-hand part of your screen, you'll see the Vegas Shoot icon. Click on that, and then you can pick any class, and there are a ton of them. Ella Gibson on screen. And there's Tanya Galantine. One of the first women to shoot 900 here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Very talented archers.
All smiles from Shaw. So we have our first Bottom targets are all shot. I'm just having a peer through the bino here, looking at some. Oh, I know why Shaw was talking about it. Shaw's on 139, and on his third target, like the lower right-hand target, he's got one like barely touching the 10 ring. Dropped it a little bit low, but
Yeah.
it's gonna score a 10.
That's all you need.
And that's all you need, yep. Like Stephen Hansen is shot, Householder is shot. Now top line is going to be like Douglas, Perkins, Schlusser, Fullerton. Gerard's looking good. Jimmy Lutt's looking good. Schlusser's first arrow. Good. It may feel to them business as usual, kind of in the midway part of this round, but when we get down to that last end, body parts can start shaking.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So
What-
have you shot a 900 in Vegas?
Yes, I have shot a 900 in Vegas. Stories. That's what I was thinking about, actually. So here's the story real quick. So because of my commentating schedule, since I've been shooting this, I get put in different groups of people. So I was with collegiate barebow women. So I believe there were 2 Genesis bows, barebow, and 1 Samick. You know the Samick
Yeah.
recurve bows. The high, ooh, that was, I just heard something go boom. I don't know what that was.
What happened?
I'm not really sure. I know that somebody's running over to the edge. I don't know if something fell or if something broke. Almost sounded like a bow exploded or something. Anyway, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Looks like everything's business as usual. But so I shoot on collegiate barebow women bail in the in like the big rooms over there, not the arena. And the highest score on that bail from those 3 was a 152. And I was shooting a 3. I was
Yeah.
just shooting, and I get to the first arrow of the 9th end, and someone says to me, "Hey, you haven't missed one yet." And my left leg starts shaking so badly, I let down and I just look at my leg and have a conversation with it. I'm like, "Leg, what is wrong with you?" And then so anyway, I was able to work through the nerves and I was able to shoot my 300 at Vegas. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No 900, so. Not even
That's
close.
okay.
Not
That's
even
okay. That's okay.
But I do have that target hung up. Now I will say this, okay, just for integrity's sake. There was one that was on top, like, Braden Gelantine. That's a close one, bottom right, but I think it's a half shafter. I think that's no issues
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times Braden Gelantine's been in this situation in his career. Plenty. I'm looking to see if one of the really popular shooters out here is Chris B, and he was clean, but it doesn't look like he has made the cut. And I asked him, I was on my way down here and I talked to Chris B, I was like, how many times, if you clean this today, how many times have it been? And he's like, this will be my 2nd time. It's not easy, folks. Not easy to shoot a 900.
I can't even imagine the pressure they must feel.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris has dropped a couple today. So he literally, after two days of 300s, he's dropped a couple points. I know there's a lot of Chris B fans out there that are interested in what he's up to. So scores are coming in. And we'll have that tallied. Basically what happens is, like, when you're out here with tablets and things, like, they wait to update the entire field at once. So once every tablet score has been tallied, and there are a couple bales down there that are calling for judges. We don't really know what happened. We heard a big pop, but we don't know what happened. So here we're going to find out. So this coming up should be, I believe, end number 5. So halfway through this line. At the last check, it was cut to 37 archers. Now we're down to 35 archers.
Okay. Wow. So, what was your prediction for number of 900s?
28.
Okay.
I think it was 28.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Schlusser, 70X at the top. Matthias Fullerton, no problem. Nico Girard, Jimmy Lutz. That is your number 1 bail. Kyle Douglas, Stefan Hansen. Tori Bjornsson. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Bjorn Arsen from Denmark.
Bjornsson? I don't
Bjorn,
know.
yeah. Apologize, Tori. Jacob Marlowe, Christopher Perkins. Bodie Turner, Braden Gellentine, Jacob Sluzars. Josef Bazanski from Slovakia. Louis Holmes, it's good to see Louis here. He was the one that was shooting in arena number 2 and was well, he was one of the ones,
Okay.
where he was a couple behind. Louis Holmes is absolutely shredding. Lawson Viet. Marco Bruno, still in it from Italy. Marco Bruno stormed onto the Lancaster Archery Classic scene, goes 11, 10, 12, and then proceeded to shoot 3 more 12s in regulation, and then shoot 2 other 12s in eliminations, and lost it to Bodie Turner in the closest arrow to the center.
Yeah.
That was quite the performance.
That was quite the match, yeah.
Bodie had to shoot 5 12s to beat him, and Marco had to shoot 6 12s to stay alive. Dave Cousins, for those of you that are Dave Cousins fan, he's still there. Remington Boyer, Christian Clark, Dane Johnson, love that kid, still in the mix. Levi Reitzma, Richard Bowen, Jesse Clayton out of Oregon, still in the mix. Let's see, Tim Jevsnik, Cody Lippincott, Moose Stevenson, still there. Jean-Philippe Bolsch from France, there. Brent Platt. Aman Saini, who is from India, Aman was one of the shooters that was over in the other arena that we were waiting for, still there. Viatali from India, who won the 10K. Isaac Bedford, Martin Dansbo, Jacob Miller, Lane Brandt, and Chris Hacker. So there was a battle going on with Sam Smith. Sam Smith, Catalina, G. Noriega, showed up, shot a 300 on the first day with 13 X's. Can you imagine the battle? Battle, like every arrow must have been, is that close? Is that close? I mean, the amount of respect for that, for Sam and what Sam pulled off. There were so many people that had more X counts than him that I spoke with that were just like, do you understand how much stress you put yourself through and you only shoot 13 X's?
Yeah.
Like, there was no hate, it was just all love for him.
Yeah,
and then he showed up yesterday and ended up shooting 26 X's, 300.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
good. Unfortunately for
good.
Sam's out. Sam didn't have the day that he had. He is dropped a point. He's a 9.986 arrow average, but you can see with his arrow average, he's one of the lower people in the group.
Yeah, yeah. With that initial 13x count, like I can imagine it's one of the lower ones. But
oh yeah,
he's still in it for the lucky dog. So
still in for lucky dog right now is Sam Smith. You pulling for him? So we're down to 35. Chris Hacker is your low X count at 51. Doesn't matter. It's just, again, if you see it online, if you go to inco.net and you look at it, that's kind of what you're looking at. That's how they rank them. You just look all the way to the right side of the screen to tell you the X count. But the top bail, Catalina talked about it earlier in this broadcast about how it can definitely elevate your game, which is kind of a weird way to think. I mean, their game is so high anyway. How much higher can it possibly get at this point? Chris Schaff with the cool new PSE hat on. Chris's shooting style is so apparent. I mean, he just leans back and he gets so locked in to his anchor point. Doesn't like that shot, though. I've shot with that dude enough to know that he's not the happiest camper in the world when he grabs the glass that quick. But let's see if he...
Is it in?
Ooh, I think Chris Schaff, he's on target, bail number 139. It's out left low, and it is, there's a hole there. This one's going to be close. I think he got it. But that's our number one. Yeah, that's our number 1 bail. With Schlusser, Fullerton up top, and Lutz and Girard. And then the number 2 bail there is Kyle Douglas, Stefan Hansen, which you don't see, Braden Gellentine, and Tori Jarnerson from Denmark as well. I mean, you have one from the Netherlands, the top 2 bales, and you have 3 people from Denmark. I mean, Denmark has really poured on the compound lately.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that Chris Schaaf's?
I think so.
Ooh. Yeah, so that was Chris Schaaf's target, and that one, I don't know. I mean, to me it looks out, but he's definitely going to
Get a judge on
get a
that.
judge. I'd just get a judge anyway. So now we're going to change targets. We're going to go from all the people on the bottom are going to switch to the top target. Top target goes to the bottom, and mandatory in the championship class, new target faces are hung for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we await the scores to come in, we know that the top 3 in the compound female category are still okay before this scoring end. So it'll be a few minutes before we get this in because everybody's going to score. Then they're going to have to kind of change their stuff around. We still have the pigeon that's flying around, by the way. There's Phil. Phil the pigeon just flying around. Phil actually headed to the stands looking for some French fries or something.
That's been the pigeon's been here all weekend.
All weekend. There's 2, I think. There's Phil, who's a little bit like lighter gray color, and then there's other one, Hank, is really dark. And Hank likes to hang out more in the rafters, I think.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? It's like being outdoors.
Yeah.
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 Without the wind. Thank goodness it's not outdoor today. Did you step outside today?
No, I haven't.
I went outside for the first time since Wednesday. It's raining here in Vegas.
It's raining.
And it's chilly.
Oh.
Got my brand new sweatshirt, you know?
Yeah. It's been a little chilly. I went out yesterday and it was chilly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at this coverage provided for you wherever you're watching it. It's streaming over a couple platforms. But tonight we get to the Vegas shoot for all these people that are going to clean it. All the people that are going to get 900s. Catalina thinks it's going to be 79 or something. I don't know how she came up with that number. But Archery Plus, archery.tv. Scan that QR code down there or just get on a web browser and go to archery.tv. Sign yourself up for an account. If you just want to watch the Vegas shoot tonight, it's $4.99. That money that you spend, all of it's going to the NFA Foundation. Is going to be for Youth Scholarship Fund. If you want to sign up for the whole year, sign up for the whole year. It's only like $30, and you're going to be able to see her shooting World Cups and all kinds of stuff during the course of the year. Got video on demand as well. So if you're in your shop and you're tinkering with your bow, I don't know how much tinkering you can do with a recurve. I mean, it's a stick with a string and another stick, but you know, those things
You can
happen.
still tinker.
You got tiller. You have what's the brace height, right?
Yeah.
Poundage.
Stabilizers, poundage, weight.
Plunger. Oh, the plunger,
plungers.
man, is a
Yeah.
mystery. Anyway, archery.tv is where to go. And that money goes to, like I said, the Youth Scholarship Fund for NFAA. So it goes to a good cause. If you buy the yearly subscription, tonight's Vegas shoot will be included.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, folks, we know it's a change for you. We understand that in the archery community, but it is the way it is, and there's a lot of things that go on. A lot of it has to do with protecting the archery video themselves and how people are trying to scam people out of, you know, like there's been sites out there that have grabbed video that isn't theirs, and then they've charged people for it, and people are paying for it.
Oh,
so this is also a way to try to get control of that content.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of different things. So we know change is coming. We know you have a lot of subscriptions, as do I. You know, did you see what Amazon did recently?
Do. No.
I think last week. So now you have Amazon Prime, and you get all these cool videos and everything else. Now they're like, hey, by the way, congratulations, it's now got commercials in it. So if you want it commercial free, you have to update. You have to pay more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Spotify upped their price as well. Not happy.
So the bales have been switched. We're grabbing a quick refresh of the scores. 15 arrows to go. Mike Schlusser, Matthias Fullerton, Nico Gerard. So all clean up top.
Clean.
We're down to 33.
Okay. I might be wrong then about my number.
Which was?
I said 30.
You know what, though? I mean, it's hard to say.
5 more ends, right?
Sometimes what I have seen is like a stability. I've seen people not be cut from like end 6 to end 8. And then all of a sudden we get to those final 2 ends, and then things start to go a little sideways.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, it looks like Olivia dropped one.
yes. So Olivia Dean in the championship compound female category shot a 9 that last end. So now we only have 2 that are perfect, Tanya Galantine and Ella Gibson. So Olivia Dean now falls into a group of archers in third, which is Olivia Dean, Leanne Drake, Sarah Lopez, Paige Pierce, Daphne Quintero, Elisa Roner, and Alexis Ruiz. And if that stays that way, then there will be a shoot-off for third place. Yeah, the podiums have shoot-offs.
Yeah.
20 yards downrange from where the archers stand. Those 5 are going to approach a yellow line that's in front of them. And there's a certain area where they have a shooting box. And the way that they actually have it on the floor, which is nice. So if you're on bale 144, for instance, if you look down on the ground, there's yellow on the ground, and they'll actually write 144. Yeah. And they have 2 places for you. So you know left is going to be AC, and then right's going to be BD. So that you can see it right there, right at the base of their feet. So that's the shooting line, and you can see that there's some words written on the tape that look like they're printed on, and then right next to it is actually like handwritten on Sharpie. So someone's got to get down there and write all that stuff. And so that's also how you align yourself. So your rule is, and it's kind of like your quiver, your stabilizers, you're not supposed to get outside of your shooting box.
Yeah.
Generally, we don't have a problem. Every now and then you run into someone maybe newer, you know, that kind of encroaches and you have to say something.
Yeah.
How do you handle that situation?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure maybe in the past, but like I feel like everyone's pretty respectful, pretty aware of their stabilizers, their arrows, and all that. And like if there is a problem, usually people are just very nice and figure out like, hey, like you're a little bit on my space. Oh, no problem. They'll move forward a little bit, or yeah, people are pretty respectful. And there's also, if you pay attention, like they'll wait for each other to finish shooting, so as to not accidentally hit them like as they're leaving the line and cause a miss. Like that has happened, and it does occur. So it's like archery courtesy to stay on the line.
It was actually really nice. I was at the practice range where the pros practice, and there was an archer yesterday who said to me, hey, can I ask you a quick question? I said, sure. When I'm on the line, what's the etiquette?
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting asking, because I said, okay, so generally what we do is if the person directly in front of you and behind you is at full draw, just chill.
Just wait for them to shoot that arrow and then use that buff.
In practice, like if you're practicing here, I would say do the same thing. Sometimes when you're in the practice area, it's not as important, but I tend to do that if I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, I think, and I think it also depends. Like if you have a front and a back person shooting, it's better to wait. But say like if it's only in the front, you can kind of leave. In practice, of course, you can kind of like walk off the line, like opening up to the left. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I think that's fine in practice. The way in which you get off the line. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's not, And the other thing that I do too is I just don't like to intrude on people's spaces, and I'm kind of a big dude. So I will ask like, hey, you know, do you have enough space? That way, like I know that my arrows don't encroach. So for Chris Schaff, he's having a long glass look, but it looks like he's down there with 3 X's. That's the lower right-hand target of the 3, target number 3. Actually, let's. Yeah. This one doesn't actually have numbers on it, does it? No, it doesn't. We're looking at the target. But for what? Oh, like.
Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, so they.
1, 2, 3.
So generally, on the targets that are actually that we look at on our coverage, you can see that they are numbered. 1 is the bottom left, 2 is the top 3. That is, I don't know why. It's just a suggestion, more or less. There's no order in which you actually have to shoot it. It's preference. Paige Pierce was in here, and she said, well, since she first started shooting as a little kid, it said 1, 2, 3, so that's how she shot them all the time.
Yeah. And you can see that on the first target, Gerard starts with the top 1. So, like, it's just preference. There's really no right or wrong way. And Jimmy there starts on the left 1, so.
The other thing, too, is that if you're, you know, not shooting at this level and you're not here participating and you're shooting back home, if you get stuck in a rut with one particular target, like let's say that you're shooting top first and then bottom left second, but you just keep shooting it left, or you keep missing. You
can start there, change it to start there.
Yeah, I'm a fan of doing that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of change it up a little bit and kind of trick your brain a bit.
Yeah.
Looking good from Jimmy Lutz again.
Everything looks good on that first bale.
Second bale too.
Yeah.
I did want to refresh and see if Chris Schaff got that call or not. In the back there, you can see Olivia Dean. So you see the 3 women with the Darton shirts. She's obviously back. And one not wearing the hat. And she is the one who dropped one. And as we mentioned to you before, just a few minutes ago, that there are only 2 women that are left at the top. Perfect. We'll see how this end goes because we're ready to get down for scoring, as the clock should go beep in about 8 seconds. I'm trying to see. Looks like Ella Gibson is good with 10 each. Maybe missed the next. That's what I was looking at through the binos. That arrow right there, Ella Gibson's arrow on what looks like on her thing, target number 2, but it's the top target. Those are those ones where you're going to reach for the binos. It's perfectly centered, but it's kicked down.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Those are the ones you're like, whoa, it broke perfectly? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And then you glass it, and you're like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Yeah, but those are the ones that'll stop your heart for a moment.
And I think these bales, they have, like, if you shoot them a lot in one spot, like, they'll have a kick to them. Yeah. So it's kind of scary.
Well,
sometimes.
That's the thing. When you're as accurate as these top shooters are, you know, Tanya Galantine, Ella Gibson, Olivia Dean, like all, and then of course on our number 1 bale, as you can see, kind of right part of your screen, Jimmy Lutz grabbing his arrows, taking a walk back. These bales in particular are pretty forgiving if you're shooting in the same spot. And what'll happen with this particular bale is if you're wearing one area out, really small ring, that if you off a little bit, it'll actually kind of suck the arrow right back in. And so it's something that all these archers are aware of, and it's something that they try to go for. And it's also why when you're shooting these targets, you want to go for those X's because you're trying to put it in the same spot.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, so are all amateurs, right? Going for the same spot, but. For Nico Ariola, not going to happen again this year. Youngest World Cup stage winner on the World Archery Circuit. So calm, cool, and collected.
She's amazing, yeah.
She beat Sarah Lopez in Medellin, number 1 in the world. Ice in her veins, from Hawaii. Always traveling with her family.
Always wearing the cute Hawaiian flowers on her hair.
Still waiting for the update on the total scores on the Compound Open Championship category. For the Compound Female, with 78 arrows in the books, it's still Tanya Galantine, Ella Gibson, perfect. Bodie Turner having a fine run at it today. He's sitting on 70 X's before the score. There we go. All right, so number 1 bale is clean. Number 2 bale is clean. Number 3 bale is clean. And we are, so we're still at 31.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just one of those weird things where we just don't see a lot of attrition in like the 6th, 7th, 8th end. It's, you know, I don't know if you're kind of settled into your round, you're feeling good, but now it's how you're going to deal with the nerves.
Yeah.
What do you feel, as we wait for, judges are working on one of the bales right now to try to get it more stable, but do you have a memory in your head from all the world stuff that you've shot that has been one tournament that stands out, or one shoot, or even one arrow that stands out as one of your most nervous arrows that you had to fight through?
Yeah, I think back in 2018, the Youth Olympics, it was like my first international competition, like really like big one. And I remember first, before the individual, we had a mixed nation, mixed team. So I remember stepping on there with my mixing partner, who's a Cuban guy. and I felt so calm. I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Like I'm just so relaxed, and I step on the line, and I'm like, wow, like I'm not nervous at all. I put the arrow in, and I'm like, not nervous at all. As soon as I lift that bow up, I started shaking like crazy, and it was like the most nervous, shaky, like just, I kind of like almost like forgot like what I was doing. Like it was so overwhelming. Like that one arrow is just like always gonna stick out to me as
That's pretty crazy.
like, yeah.
Wow. Huh. Now every arrow after that's been easy, right?
not
Gravy.
quite, but that first arrow on a stage was the most nerve-wracking arrow I've ever had to shoot.
Mike Schlusser's shot process is just so strong. He's running about 32 ounces on the front. It's a lot of weight. I think it's like a 1977 Volkswagen Beetle. About that weight. These look good. Fullerton's look good. Kyle Douglas looks good. We're winding down. So for the bottom line, that's 81 arrows shot so far of the 90. That's math. That's 3 ends to go after this. We still have the top line to go.
Martin Damswell letting down.
We'd definitely like to thank all the people that are watching this right now. Nearly 3,000 people tuning in, checking it out. Especially those that are commenting and all those supportive messages. We hear them all, even the ones that aren't so supportive. Yeah. As our TV truck is having a good laugh. Vegas Shoot 2024, extended coverage. First time we're doing it. Catalina G. Noriega, Greg White, we're just hanging out. We're just having a couch talk here, folks. Yeah. Over time, we'll take a look at this. We'll make it better over the years. But right now, we're just having some fun. We're just two people hanging out, two old friends hanging out, yakking. Hadn't seen you since Chile.
Yeah.
No, I saw you at Lancaster last week.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
We shopped at the mall.
Yeah, we did.
We shopped
did.
in Chile. Yeah.
Love shopping.
Highlight of my life. Our top L looking good. No big dramas to report. So for Jimmy Lutz was shaking his head, it's complicated because what you're shaking your head for is you had an expectation, and it's a thwarted expectation. Jimmy may have shot a half shaft X.
Yeah.
And just didn't like the way the shot broke, or is just not happy with himself.
Yeah.
It's a different shaking of the head when you shoot like an 8.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the thing, that the level in compound, Catalina, has gotten so high.
Yes.
Is that if you shoot a 10 that's not an X, that's kind of the way they feel. It's just like if you're somebody who shoots, you know, say a 295 average in this thing, and you end up shooting a 9, you only shoot a couple 9s at a time, maybe you do throw 1.8. It's the same kind of disappointment feeling, and it's so hard, I think, for us normal shooters, not you, but for someone like me and the people that are watching to really contemplate this level. You know, you see Jimmy Lutz, like looking at that top target, you know, that arrow's totally fine. It might even be inside out, but it just wasn't exactly broke in the middle where he wanted it to go.
As the is about to be scored, we have 31 contenders for tonight's shootdown.
Like I mentioned, the last 2 ends we've had are cut down to 31. We started on Friday with 73. We cut down to 43 after yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're down to 31.
Wow. Yeah, I think for those kind of shots also, if because they're so good and they're so accurate, these shooters, if it feels slightly off, it might feel like it's further out than it actually is, but because they're so good, it might still like hit in the X. But yeah.
Ella Gibson calling the arrows on that bale. That's the Championship Compound Female top bale. Looks like Tanya Galantine and Ella Gibson are still going to be tied with perfect scores to this point. That would be an entertaining shoot-off. We're still waiting for scores to come in. And for some of our categories that are all wrapped up, if you're just joining us, there was Championship Compound Senior. And Lynn Hoke from Iowa had led that perfect. He was the only shooter at the end of yesterday to shoot 2 300s, and unfortunately had a couple miscued, couple missed arrows, and that allowed Keith Trail to win his 5th Vegas in the Championship Compound Senior. For Keith Trail, he shot a 299 the first day. Catalina, he missed his 2nd arrow. So he shot 88 arrows perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, to win that one. And this was really a big one for Keith Trail. I had a chance to speak with him after the fact. I shot with him last year on the bale, and he told me the first day we shot, he said, I'm done, this is it, I'm never doing this again, it's over, I can't win anymore, you know, I just want to go home and relax. And what happened was he brought his whole entire family out here, his wife, his grandkids, and everybody was so happy with the way Keith shot. I didn't win last year. They were so happy with the way he shot and the experience at Vegas that they all went home and ordered bows. He owns a bow shop, so they all started shooting.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, I'm back into it, because they said, look, his wife said, Keith, you can just retire, and why don't you coach all of us? And he said, I'm not doing that. So he came back to shoot, and it was a big victory for him. Yeah. And in the championship recurve male, it was Brady Ellison, his 10th Vegas win. He wins by a single point over Marcus Delmedia. And then it's Lim Duna from Korea, who finishes with the victory in the recurve female category, just a couple of points ahead of Casey Koffold in 2nd place. Should I look for your result?
No.
Leave it alone? All right, I'm gonna leave it alone.
We don't need to see that.
Nah, we don't need to see that.
We don't need to see that.
And number 8. So for these archers, they're gonna have 9 high-stress arrows for the ones that are the 31 that are clean so far. Let's see if the pressure starts working in this end, or if it's going to move to our 9th and 10th ends. And by the way, just to give you that Chris Schaff update, he did miss that one. That was a 9.
Oh.
So now Chris is even out of the lucky dog.
So unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be recognized, you know, at the opening program here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, the Preford Arena. Mike Schlusser at work. Fullerton next to him. Fullerton's first arrow was like a half shaft 10.
Yeah. It's still in though.
No dramas.
No dramas.
Schlusser is clean. Kyle Douglas just drilled his 3rd one. Christopher Perkins.
Still clean?
Yeah. One of the winners of the lucky dog. Stephen Hansen, Braden Galantine. It'd be nice to see Braden Galantine get in. You know, he's another archer who kind of semi-retired. You know, he works for Darton now and all that stuff. And I think there's Martin Damzo, who just took a deep breath and let that one down. He's going to give it another go. For Martin Damsbo, he is still in the dance before this end. You can see, like, that was part of what Catalina and I were talking about. You see how the shooter in front of him and the shooter behind him stayed on the line and let him do that. And then actually, after Damsbo fired, you could see that both those archers kind of gave him a head nod on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, also, a lot of times on the line, like the shooters around you, you saw there with Martin, he was kind of running down the clock a little bit. Maybe not too much, but yeah, like those archers around you, like, will count down for each other, and like if anyone ever gets to that point, and very supportive, and like good shot and like all that. So
yeah,
you can definitely see that here.
For sure. Like if you're getting to 10 seconds on the clock, you're going to have some help.
Yeah,
and that's nice. Yeah, people start going 9, 8, 7.
Yeah.
We're looking for Nico Girard. From my vantage point for Nico Girard on that top one, that's just a low 10. Might have caught the bottom of the X-ring. Scoring-wise, no problem. Jimmy Lutz. It's really easy to see Jimmy's shot process and to really see when he's aiming well. Because, you know, there's some times where I think if you put a shot clock on his entire process that he would be within 1 second of his shot probably 90% of the time.
Wow.
I think Jimmy's doing the right thing here. He's just taking a breath for his last arrow. Gets into it. He's going to get to anchor. He's going to settle. His thumb goes out. He's settling, settling, settling. It gets to where he wants to, and then pow. All right, that was 1 second off.
Clean shot, and you can see him waiting for the archer behind him.
But again, that's
Young
kind of like,
kid.
this is it can be a curse, I think, sometimes. Like, one of the reasons I like shooting 50 meter more is because it is a little bit more rhythmic indoor. Like, you don't have to be exactly perfect, but to get that shot process. But for someone who is a very rhythmic shooter, one of the things that I've noticed is the difficulty of getting out of that rhythm. We did see Jimmy Lutz earlier in this round let down once.
Yeah.
And that is that kind of next level mental discipline, don't you think? Like for recurve, for recurve archery, we see you guys, it feels like we see you let down quite a bit. Is that part of the training process that you guys go through, or?
No, I don't. Like, I don't think it's like anyone's goal to like let down. Like, but it's not a bad thing. I think it's a little bit harder to let down with compound. Like maybe like that. Like I don't know. Like I have a compound.
Physically?
No, not like it could like go off kind of like because it has like a little bit.
Especially
of
if you shoot a hinge release, sure.
And like maybe cross the 3 meter line.
Yeah.
With recurve, I think it's a lot more controlled, and I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a part of it, especially here, is ego.
Right.
Part of it's ego.
Yeah.
You want to fight through it. Your brain is just going, I got it. So the line you're looking at, see that yellow line that's just kind of in the middle part of your screen behind a lot of the archers? That actual line is for what happens this evening. That is going to be a line where, for those people that have shot 900s, when you go to score your arrows, the judges will tell you, Bruce Cull will tell you, stay behind that line. That way the archers don't approach the line, they don't touch their arrows. There's so much at stake at the Vegas shoot. I mean, it's not only just $58,000, it is the title of Vegas champion, which is something that you have for the rest of your life, and people know it. I mean, this is the 58th version of this tournament, and it's been around for 58 years for a reason. There's a reason why 4,491 archers, you know, descended on this place to shoot their bow. This is a big deal.
Would you say for compound, this is the most important shoot of the year?
I think so. There are other tournaments that are definitely important, but I think if you look at, like, if you're a sponsored shooter for your, for your sponsors and everything, most of them are here. At the Preferred Arena, there's this huge vending area and everything else. So I would say so. If you are tuning in and you're watching this, we certainly appreciate it. We thank everybody for checking out our coverage, our bonus coverage from the Vegas shoot. First time that we have done this. This is our third championship line. Catalina G. Noriega, it's so nice to have you here. You've been spending a lot of time with us, and we appreciate it. But tonight is going to be the Vegas shoot. For all those shooters that have shot 900s and one lucky dog, they're going to be shooting for $58,000. We'll also probably have some shoot-offs in other categories of the championship division that need shooting off as well. And that is $4.99. A subscription for the Vegas shoot on archery.tv. You want to go scan that QR code, get yourself an account, sign up for it. And tonight it's $4.99. If you want to just do the whole year, it's $30 for the whole year, and it includes the Vegas shoot tonight. But if you spend the $4.99, your proceeds go to NFA Foundation and the Scholarship Fund. And chances are you're going to see the top 8 shooters: Schlusser, Fullerton, Girard, Lutz, Douglas, Hansen, Perkins, and Gelantine. But we still have some arrows left to shoot, and now the pressure's on. We're getting down to the last couple of ends, and once again, we're still at 31. So this is 3 ends holding at 31. This is when, so we've seen people drop in ends basically 1 through 5. We've been steady at 31 for 3 ends. Now there's only 6 arrows to go. This is the 9th end of 10. And this is when nerves are going to start creeping in.
A little bit more nerves,
You
yeah.
know, and that's the hardest part is getting that internal dialogue, Catalina, out of your head. Like, to try to put out, like, I'm so close. Like, you don't want to over-aim. You don't want to overthink it. You want to try to, try to do whatever you got here.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, grab that. Looking at Mike Schlusser's first arrow, bottom left. Catalina's having a close look at it with the binos. He put that out of his mind and just center punched the top one.
I don't know.
You think it's close?
I can't really tell. Like, I think there's an arrow blocking it from where I'm sitting.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, now as Mike put his third arrow in, it's definitely, it's kicked down a little bit, which also might cause to look optically like it's out, but I think that's going to be a bit of an arrow call. Okay. That would be a heartbreaker, but again, it's this pressure. So the arrow we're looking at is, if you look at the third arrow, so it's the arrow furthest away from us, we can't really see the knock. There's that orange knock.
We can't really see the
from our angle, it's blocked. The other 2 arrows look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Fullerton's arrows look great.
Yeah.
No issues at all. So we're going to wait till this AB line finishes, which there's 24 seconds remaining, and it doesn't look like anyone's on the line. So they'll either let the clock run out or they'll punch the button, and then we'll get ready for that. So we're a little ways away from figuring out if that one's good or not. I'm trying to look in that crowd shot too, like see if Mike, like what Mike was doing in his reaction to it. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, he's been through this so many times where one arrow's made the difference in a shoot for him, that, you know, it definitely is not going to be the end of the world for him.
No.
On the compound female side, after the last end, Tanya Galantine, Ella Gibson still perfect, marching towards 900s. Love to see it.
Love it.
Could one of our Danish archers tour have dropped an arrow, quite possibly?
Do you think?
129 top right. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
close, maybe a line call.
Yeah, like a line call here. You look at it.
Let me
so
see.
it's the top target on the right of 129, and it's obviously it's the. Yeah, there you go. I mean, from this vantage point, that's a lot of yellow. That's a lot. Take a look at your screen real quick.
Oh, I think that's out. Yeah, that's sad. That's always sad.
Yeah, it is definitely sad. It's part of the game. Especially you go to this far with 77 X's out of 84 and a perfect score.
And 1 end to go. So.
Yeah, and 1 end to go. And it's the heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Tor from Denmark is going to be the last one. Yeah. He had his head in his hands right there.
Yeah.
And he knows.
Oh.
Long way to go to get so close.
Yeah.
And I think we're we're going to cut to at least 30.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
All going through his mind right now is, you know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Should have waited. Should have let down. Like, there's so many things that on what caused that, but that's a long 20-yard walk, long 18-meter walk to the target.
Sorry, to me it looks like the Mike's.
Yeah, half shaft. It looks like half shaft.
It looks like it's in.
I agree with you. Shouldn't be an issue for Mike.
Shouldn't be an issue.
If you're playing a drinking game, for every time I've said shouldn't be an issue, I'm sorry you're drunk. I'm going to work on that. It's a long day here, just chilling on the couch. The female category. I don't know. Could there be something going on? They're pulling arrows, so we're going to have to wait to see if everything was good between Galantine and Ella Gibson, if they hit all the shots. But this is, I can't emphasize enough, this is when it happens. These last two ends of the entire Vegas shoot for 2024 are the highest pressure ends that we have in archery, especially when you're clean, when you shot a perfect score. And it doesn't matter, you know, how clean it is or how ugly it is, even if it's, you know, outside, just touching the outer edge of the 10 ring. You can see it on some of the people's faces too as they're walking back.
Yeah.
Ella's got no problems. Looking good. Maybe she just dropped an X. Yeah.
No problem.
That's the expectation Ella has on herself, Ella Gibson. Out of the GB. $10, I don't think. No. Yeah, 10-10, no problem. X, the question is, at this point, I mean, arrow calls are arrow calls. I mean, you got to know if you're shooting an X or not. But they're going to place you where they're going to place you for the shoot if you're perfect anyway. I think it might matter, like, your introduction. Like, if you're the, you know, maybe the order. I think they introduced, like, maybe the lowest X count to the top X count or something. I think they've done it kind of in a variation of ways over the years.
Does it dictate the order in which you shoot, or not?
No, it's just going to dictate your bail. So, you know, we go, if you look at that overhead shot that we have had, that's a good look at how many bails we have. And by the way, there are these target butts that are all over the place here. They're in halls and all that. So if you look at that overhead shot, and we're in that stand off to the left, that's the DOS stand, where that Easton center shot is, that they're going to start them there and then fan them out from there.
Yeah.
So obviously if we have 20, they'll just go to like 144, 143, and then just work 10 that way. Okay, here we go.
Last end.
Last end. We got 30. Two in the women's category and 30. You had 30? You called 30?
I called 30.
Oh, yeah.
Are we at 30?
If no one drops on this last end, that would probably be a record, like legitimately. That would be so incredible.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Schlusser's sending them pretty quickly, as is Fullerton. He's got two down there. Perkins dropped a half shack 10.
Fullerton looks like he's clean.
Yeah.
And Schlosser too.
Okay.
Yep. They look good. And you see them congratulating each other. They know it. Bodie.
Big accomplishment.
I think Bodie as well. He was part of that.
Kyle Douglas having a look. Bodie having a look.
I think they're both good. They look happy.
Perkins. I think Perkins missed his
no.
last arrow.
What target?
Look down like where 128 is.
Yeah, I got it.
Top one, maybe. You'll see Perkins. Maybe it's 120.
Ooh, I think that is out. That's so no 30 for me.
That one right there, target number 3.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's
and I think that was his last arrow. I think he goes 1, 2, 3 on shooting. And that's what like 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters looks like. And he's got to go shoot Lucky Dog now.
Yeah.
Looks like Perkins is down there somewhere, maybe behind Damsbo. Obviously, Schlusser's happy. Kyle Douglas.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right. Like I said, first time with the mic. What's his first one? Look good?
Hold on.
The second one looks great.
Yeah, they both look good.
Okay. Nico Girard looks like the second one was just a little left, but
I think
should
it's
catch
in.
a 10 ring. Yeah, it's kicked really weird.
Yeah. Ooh.
You want the binos
No,
back?
go ahead. Look. I think he got it.
No, he got it.
Yeah,
he
he's
got it.
celebrating
Just,
back
yeah,
there.
low 10, he got it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Lutz
Jimmy,
hasn't shot. He
there,
just shot.
he's
I got it.
All right.
Oof. That's it.
They're all
Last couple
celebrating.
arrows, yeah. Looks like Braden Galantine is in. What a shoot for the part-time shooter. I mean, yeah, and this is when the stories start.
Did Martin get it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Trying to see, let's see, where is, he was one of the lower X counts.
Seems to be celebrating with Fullerton.
Mm-hmm.
All right, archers, congratulations.
There's a couple targets that we don't see.
Today's competition.
So close for the young man in the black shirt. Missed it by one.
Yeah.
Nico Girard.
Still gonna get a chance to shoot in the Lucky Dog though. How many?
Oof, we're gonna have to find out. We'll find out after this,
Find
but
out.
that's also, once your focus shifts to Lucky Dog, people can miss that one as well.
Yeah.
But it looked like 30.
Not put them in your carry-on luggage. Fill in
30
scorecards.
through
Make sure that you have the total scores
66.
and the total X's on the bottom of the scorecard. Make sure
But let's
that
take a look at what happened over in the compound female category. This is a replay, so those two.
scorecards are going to be turned in over by Bales.
Tanya gets it.
Yeah.
You can see how happy she is.
The arena.
Ninella
Oh.
was like, whoa.
Are going to be on Bales.
I can't see.
It's, we'll see if we see the impact.
Oh, okay.
There was Tanya's, just a little bit low 10, but that's okay.
Once the arrows are complete, it'll be
So for Ella Gibson,
They both got it, I think.
yeah, I think they both got it.
as well as our shortly upcoming Lucky Dog Shoot-Off. You can now go ahead and score.
Wow.
Amazing.
So there could be a two-way shoot-off for the championship compound female category. With scores having to be confirmed, there will be Tanya Galantine and Ella Gibson. If they're perfect, they're going to have a shoot-off to see who wins that. So the work isn't done yet. There's retired shooter Paul Tedford walking through. It's great to see Paul Tedford here.
So once the scoring is complete, competitors, I'd like you to all please move it.
We're going to wait for scoring to be official and complete. And then what they do here is that for everybody who shot a 900, they're going to line them all up and take a photo too.
Okay.
So that'll give us a good idea of who is doing what.
Conducting that will be under local control from our biggest shoot judges on the field of play once it's clear. And make sure that your scorecard's complete. Make sure you are.
It's so different, isn't it, the body language now that it's over and now that they've cleaned or they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
See if Jacob Marler was able to stay in the mix, giving himself another opportunity. There's a judge being called over there. I believe that's the young adult category. Still waiting for those scores to come in to give us 90. They're still sitting at 87. And once again, everybody has to come do it. And I can see there's a couple judge calls, as you would expect for these final 3 arrows of the Vegas Shoot 2024. And we should be having the lucky dog coming right up. And maybe what you can do for me, you want to help me out? Who do you want to talk to? Maybe grab somebody who just shot 900 that you can bring up here.
Who do you want me to bring?
I don't know. Who do you want to bring? Mikey?
Up to you.
Maybe Braden?
I can bring Braden.
Braden would be great to talk to.
Okay.
Yeah, since he's kind of half retired. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll go grab him.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate all your time, Catalina.
Thank you. I'll go grab him and
Span a W in the chat for Catalina and everything she's hanging out. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'll go get him.
All right, talk to you soon.
Talk to you
I
soon.
will shop later. It's comedy, people.
All right. Bye.
All right, see ya. Great job by Catalina G. Noriega providing her insight to our commentary. Appreciate it. And she was worried about not being a compound shooter, but added tons of stuff. Thanks, Catalina.
All right, Steve Anderson, I owe you lunch.
So we are continuing to.
That's your count. 27 competitors.
So it looks like we cut down to 27. I called 28. Pretty good. 2 more than last year. That's the word we're getting. We haven't had the update exactly on the NCO.net yet. That is what I'm hearing, but that actually number could change as we still have another score or 2 coming in for some judges. So we will wait for the scores to be ratified. And we do have a couple of makeup arrows from what we're told as well. But officially on the championship compound female side of things, all their 90 arrows are scored. So it's Tanya Galantine and Ella Gibson with perfect 900 scores over 3 days. They're going to have to shoot off to decide 1 and 2. And then there is a tie for third. Olivia Dean, Paige Pierce, Daphne Quintero, Elisa Roner, and Alexis Ruiz. So we have to find out how the NFA is going to handle that as well. And with judges out there still making final arrow calls, people taking photos, we're still waiting for those official scores to roll in.
Right here, right there. I'm like 20 bales down, and I'm like, dude, that looks bad. That was probably, it was easier than my last year, but I was.
And our headband guy getting after it.
I was like, well, it's close, but it's okay.
All right, we're still waiting for that official word. Before this last end was scored, it was down to 30. So I honestly, if we just lost 3 people after 30, we definitely lost Perkins, unfortunately. And so the other thing too is I want to wait to find out how many we're going to have in this lucky dog competition.
To the left of target 135, we need you off the floor so that we can conduct our makeup arrows, please. Gentlemen.
There are some makeup arrows.
To the left of target 136.
I'm not sure where those makeup arrows are coming from.
Please leave the field of
Looks like they're going to be possibly down on 126, possibly.
Our makeup arrows. Thank you.
So that would be more on the youth side of things. Mike Schlusser, possibly 88Xs out of 90, and he would be on top of the pile in terms of our rankings because he shoots 900 with what we think is 88Xs. They have already scored, but we still don't have all of our official scores in just yet. We are hearing from our folks at inco.net that we cut to 27, but I'm waiting for the update so we can give you the word. Brent Platt back there on the right part of your screen. Platt was in with 71 X's. He doesn't look all that happy. But we know from what we saw, Schlusser, Fullerton, Girard, Lutz in the mix. There was Steve Anderson. And there's Christopher Perkins staring right into the camera screen. He knows we're looking at him. And that's a rough one for Perkins. Yeah, what are you going to do? Sorry to Perkins for that, but he will shoot the lucky dog. And you know what, for Perkins? He's won it from the lucky dog before. So not unfamiliar territory for Christopher Perkins. But I guarantee you a learning experience. Like talking to Christopher Perkins after this, he will look at his equipment, he'll look at his bow, and he'll say, there's an adjustment that I need to make when I'm under that much pressure. And this is the only way that you can simulate that pressure is to come shoot these tournaments. I've seen archers try in many different ways to simulate the pressure of a final shoot. Like Paul Tedford, who moments ago you saw kind of walk across our screen, who's been retired a few years ago, he decided that he was going to live stream a practice round on Facebook and have the pressure of that and have people with comments and see if that kind of helped to create some type of stress and some type of pressure. And it did in a way, but in a different way. It was like, I wonder what people are commenting he was saying and that type of stuff. And people have done it in other ways. They've had their friends flick their ear with an arrow. You know, obviously tournaments, you go to local tournaments, or there have been coaches that have put their students next to each other and tried to simulate it. But when you're here, when you're in front of a crowd in the arena, when there's $58,000 possible on the line, it always feels different. Some of the archers from Mexico, none of them actually were clean, but they're talking about their experience and they're talking about their shots, and now it's all about those stories. Reigning world champ, still clean. And he's happy about that. Just got to find out if he just put that $10,000 on the big win last night, if he put it all on one number, and if he won, imagine you put it on green. That's a 35-to-1 odds. $10,000, go 35-to-1. I'm no genius, but that's like $350K. Yeah, depending on how many lucky dogs we have, putting on green would be better odds. Hey man, congratulations. Outstanding. Put that headset on. We're just streaming live. Wanted to talk to you because, you know, Braden Gelentine's here, shoots a perfect score, on his way to another one. How many?
I've lost count.
Yeah,
at this point,
I
probably
would think
7
so.
or 8.
But how long has it been?
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 2 with the Darton.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, you're kind of like semi-retired, right?
Yeah, so I'm full-time rep now.
Yeah.
I put my bow down in August after the U.S. Archery Outdoor Nationals. I picked it up the week before Kings of Archery, went over there, shot 900, and my plan was to put it down and then pick it up after the ATA show.
Yeah.
We got out to Rushmore Rumble, and Tanya's like, well, if you're going to go with me, you might as well shoot your bow. I'm like, okay, Tanya. I was like, yeah, I'll go shoot tomorrow. If I shoot a 325X, I'll go with you and I'll shoot. And sure enough, I shot a 327. I'm like, oh, all right, not bad.
Yeah.
I got there to Rushmore Rumble, shot a 328 my first half, but the first day is a 60-arrow marathon.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the second 30, I could not keep my arm up. I shot a 299.21, went back, had some dinner, went to bed. Next morning, 328X. And so I still had it. I just didn't have the stamina to get through. Put it down after the ATA show. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go hard for Lancaster. I'm going to keep going through Vegas, and I'm going to be prepared and ready to go.
I'm curious about your dart and bow. So what bow are you shooting? And I'm
Yep.
curious the way you have it set up for
Sure,
you.
yeah. I've got the Dart Exodus, 37.5-inch axle. I've got it set at 60 pounds
Is
on
the
the
Exodus
nose.
the shoot through?
The Exodus
Yeah,
is shoot through. The
riser, yeah.
Departure is the open window.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
And they're the exact same bow, except one's a shoot through, one's an open riser. So it's got the same cam, same string length, same everything. So you get the same performance out of both. And yeah, so I've got it set up with a half turn out of the bottom limb.
Okay.
And 18 ounces up front, 35 on the back. So basically 2 to 1.
So only the bottom limb.
Only the bottom limb, half turn
interesting.
out, just for tiller tuning. It helped me get the stabilizer pointing up a little bit. Just changing the angle of my hand, angle of the bow in my hand. And it just kind of preloaded the bow against that horrible dip bang.
Oh, yeah.
That we all kind of struggle with sometimes.
Yeah, the dip bang. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So do you feel accomplished right now? I mean, you obviously are very happy about it.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Anytime you don't have to go through the lucky dog process, you're pretty pumped to be going to the finals. And I mean, Vegas is a Super Bowl, and I'm a starting player. So yeah, I'm pumped.
And how was the last end?
Last end was great. So yesterday, I was on track for a 30X. I was clean through the first 9. I hit an X on my first arrow, super good. Second arrow, I settled in, everything's great. And then kind of like the moment hit me, and my legs started jittering like you do when you're hunting a deer or something. I got like buck fever. It took over, and like next thing I know, it's an 8 high right, 8 high left, and it kind of like swung back in the middle, fired. Like, okay, it's a 10 at least. I look down, half shaft 10. I'm like, all right, we're good. Now it's last arrow, boom, easy. And I really feel like having that adrenaline boost and overcoming it helped me today, because those last 3, I was just like, okay, first arrow, it was easy, it went off great. Second arrow, okay, we're good. Third arrow, I'm like, just don't think, just shoot. And that's the mantra that I always tell myself to kind of clear my brain. And it was just like the pin sat in the middle, and I'm like, back end, rotate, boom, it went. And it was just like, it was one of those shots where you just know it's there.
Yeah.
And yeah, half shaft X at 12. We're going to the dance. I can't wait.
Real quick, you got to go take a photo here in a minute, but real quick, put your commentator hat for me.
All right.
Christopher Perkins missed his last arrow.
Oh, that's
how
gutted.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
2 years ago, I had that happen. It was my second to last arrow. You feel in control the whole way, and then there's just that one little bobble that takes you out. And honestly, I feel gutted for him. That stinks.
Yeah, that stinks. Real quick comment on 2 perfect 900s on the compound female side.
Yeah, Darton swept the first and second for the women's compound.
Oh, that's right.
That's amazing. Tanya and Ella from Great Britain, they've been battling back and forth since outdoors last year, and they were 1 and 2 in Lancaster, and now they're 1 and 2 again here. It's incredible. Obviously, I'm a little biased on how I hope that match turns out. My bank account definitely hopes my wife wins, but yeah, it's going to be a good battle, and I'm excited to see how far they take it.
Dude, congratulations. I'm so happy to see you in the mix,
you so much,
and
man.
good luck. It'll be amazing if you can pull this off.
Thank you. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. Braden Galantine. If you see somebody else that's not taking a picture that might want to come up, just send them up here, because we're just chilling. Thanks, Braden. You want to come back for the Lucky Dog? Absolutely. Yeah. Come back for the Lucky Dog. We'd love to have you back. Yeah, that'll be great. All right, so we'll get Braden Galantine back for the Lucky Dog. And let's see. So what they've done is they've actually sorted every archer by name, basically, on the list. So we did cut to 27 archers. Unfortunately, the top archer, who's Lucky Dog, is Christopher Perkins. Austin Taylor's there, Sawyer Sullivan. There's a ton of people in the mix. But Bozansky of Slovakia, Bolsch of France, Bowen in the mix, Boyer as well, Marco Bruno from Italy, who stormed the United States last week, Clark from Missouri, Dave Cousins from Maine, Damsbo from Denmark, Diatale from India, Kyle Douglas, Fullerton from Denmark, Braden Galantine, as you just saw, who lives in Kentucky now, Girard from France, Chris Hacker from Arkansas, 3D shooter in the 900, into the Vegas shoot. Hansen from Denmark, Louis Holmes from Wisconsin, Jevsnik from Slovenia, Dane Johnson, Cody Lippincott, Jimmy Lutz, Jacob Marlowe, Jacob Miller, Aman Saini from India also was able to make it. Mike Schlusser, Jacob Schluzars, Bodie Turner, and Lawson Viet from Oklahoma. That is going to be the people that are guaranteed in there, and now they're taking the big photo. Plus, they're going to add the other 900. So Ella Gibson gets in there, as well as Tanya Galantine. One of the shooters was in there and shouldn't have been in there. I mean, we don't have a lens wide enough to get all these archers in. We're going to have to pan around for you.
Let's congratulate these competitors on the floor. These are tonight's finalists.
A good look at the smiles of all the shooters that are in for the finals as we await our Lucky Dog competition. And let's see. On the Lucky Dog side of things, 899s. So we go from 28 down to 67. Is that 39? 39. So yeah, Catalina G. Noriega was correct. If you take and put your money on green, I think it's a 35-to-1 odds. Better odds than winning the Lucky Dog. Pretty crazy. So we have our set field for those that shot perfect 900s for the Vegas Shoot 2024. That's coming up later on today. Coverage is supposed to begin in about 3.5 hours from now, somewhere around there. But our coverage continues right here as we await the Lucky Dog shoot. Braden Galantine back in the mix for the Lucky Dog. So it looks like 39 for Lucky Dog. Yeah. And if you're joining our coverage, thanks so much. It's Braden Galantine here with me in the booth for this Lucky Dog coverage that's coming up. Coverage that's been provided for you all weekend long. But tonight we're going to get to the Vegas Shoot 2024 and the $58,000 prize on the line with 27 shooters shooting perfect 900s and 1 Lucky Dog on the way. So 28 archers going for it. And of course tonight, right here on archery.tv. If you have a yearly subscription, if you subscribe to it where you're going to get all the coverage throughout the year with World Archery and the Vegas Shoot, you'll have that. If you want to just dip your toes into it and check out the coverage tonight, it's $4.99 with the proceeds of all that money going to the NFA Foundation and Youth Scholarship Fund. So we encourage you to get to Archery Plus, scan that QR code, and get yourself signed up for the shoot tonight and see this guy going for $58K. Can you imagine if you and why is his mic not on? Somebody turn his mic on, please. There we go.
All right, yeah, now I can hear myself. Cool.
So say that again. What'd you say? Woo!
I said, woo! I summoned up my inner Ric Flair there.
Yeah. Low-key Ric Flair.
Yeah,
low-key Ric Flair. You don't want to blow out the audio.
I was actually on a flight to France one year,
and
he was on it.
Really?
He was wearing the coat and everything.
No shot.
It was
did you
amazing.
say something?
Yeah, I did. He was walking down the aisle to go to the bathroom, and I kind of leaned out. I was like, can you do it one time?
No.
And he like,
that's cool.
it was amazing.
What are you going to France for, buddy?
I was going there for Nemes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some,
you were.
I was. Yeah, there was some WWE exposition or over there. There were a bunch of just these gigantic guys just sitting there. It was crazy, and every one of them had the tiniest girlfriend or wife you could ever imagine.
Oh,
like it was just it's like,
yeah. Like, hey, you're 4'11".
Yep, Beauty and the Beast type stuff. It was wild.
Yeah. You want to take a look to see how the women shot?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's
sure,
go.
We got a little bit of video.
All right, perfect.
There were a couple, where they were shaking their heads, but that is your wife right after her last arrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. Oh, Ella. That was some.
Yeah, no, there was
some English.
It was right there. You can see that was her last shot, just on the right-hand side, half shaft in.
A little bit of English and French there.
Yeah. All at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah, Tanya was. She was a ball of nerves last night. We went to dinner, just grabbed something easy, and she was just picking at it the whole time. And she texted me. She's like, I need to go to bed. And it looks Paige is genuinely ecstatic. That's amazing to see. Just the support among those top tier women. They all have each other's back, and that's.
Do you know how many times that is for Tanya?
That's Tanya's third 900.
Third, right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys shoot together at home?
We used to shoot together all the time.
Oh yeah.
These days, I just don't have it anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Is that her fourth 900?
I thought it was third as well, but it definitely.
She had one a few years ago, And then when Lico won, it was her, Paige, and Lico, so that would have been 2. And then last year, Tanya won with the 900.
Oh, yeah.
So this would be her 4th 900. She's catching up to me. I got to keep knocking them down.
You're like, snap, crackle, pop. I
Right.
got to keep shooting here.
Yeah. And yeah, it was like, I was talking to her last night. I was like, babe, you've shot a ton of these 900s. Like, you do it in practice all the time. Like, just chill. She's like, you're saying the wrong things. I'm going to bed. I'm like, oh, great.
Hey, maybe that's what did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's just like now focused on, she's all angry at you.
I ticked her off
And
just
it's like,
enough that she shot well.
Yeah.
No, but it's cool. Like, it's cool because when we shoot in practice sometimes, she doesn't get her A game up. It's like it takes something special for her to bring what she's capable of. She just, the dog's running around. She's doing 10 other things. So it's just her. She's shooting arrows. She's going through the motions. And as soon as she gets around like Stefan, Martin, the top tier guys, she's just like, she zones in and she shoots 28, 29, 30X. It's just like all of us. And it's just like, dang,
Incredible.
babe, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty incredible. At the end of the day, 72X count, Ella Gibson 77X count. I mean, it's just so impressive.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I mean, it's possible, but will it happen? 90X, 900 rounds.
If you'd ask me if it was ever going to happen, like a perfect 690 round, or like Stefan shot 90 X's in Yankton, that was wild. I don't think we're there yet. I think it's going to be another 5 years.
Another 5 years.
Especially in Vegas, where there's so many distractions off the range.
Yep.
And just this room, we're moving? Allegedly?
Yeah, we're moving, yeah.
We're moving.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next shooting room will be like, but this arena just has something to it where it's like it amplifies nerves.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to the Strip. That's the bit we know.
All right.
And the rest of it, I know, but I'm not telling you till tonight because Bruce is going to make the announcement.
We'll just mute ourselves real quick and have a private conversation. You guys can try to read our lips.
There is a rumor, though.
Yes.
It's going to move. Date's going to move.
I've heard that as well. I've heard that rumor.
Yeah.
But it's gonna, that's odd. I don't know how I feel about a Vegas outside of February.
It'll be interesting.
Like, imagine if they moved the Super Bowl. Like, be weird.
Be weird. By the way, that's the list. Between the red lines is the list of who's going to be shooting Lucky Dog. And right now, George, our in-house announcer, is basically telling everybody where their target assignments are. Lucky Dog. Now, what I will tell you this, Braden, if you're in the middle of saying something or I'm in the middle of saying something and Bruce starts talking, we're going to go to Bruce.
Perfect. Sounds
just
great.
so we, know the stuff. But with Lucky Dog.
So Lucky Dogs run just like the 10K shoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you, like, how do I say this? Like, is your expectation in Lucky Dog just kind of like, or is it like that I got to get this done, I got to get into the show? Like, it seems that people kind of treat it in a different way, and at least out in public they say,
Yeah, nobody has a game plan for missing one here. The Lucky Dog's kind of like a last-ditch reprieve. It's a really cool gesture from Archery Gods to be able to qualify. It meant a lot more when there were only 6 or 7 shooters and you legitimately had a chance to win.
Yeah.
But now that you have to make it through, 28 other guys this year?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the odds of winning Vegas are so low, and the odds of, you're either going to win or come in your placement. It's like, you have a free roll. You're out there shooting your arrows. I bet they feel more stress here now than they do when they get to the shoot down.
Do you feel that going from, was it 24,000 in year 49 to 50? I think that was like the jump, like the 50th anniversary, to now being 58. We're at 58,000. Do you think that the number 50, 52, 55, 50, whatever, has got less of an effect on nerves and things like that now, just because of the number 50?
Right.
More so than just the title of Vegas champ.
I think for some guys, the money is the main nerve-inducing thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a handful of guys out here that the prestige of being Vegas champion is what causes the knee shakes. So, I don't think it's so much about the money anymore. It's more just about, having your face and name up on those banners.
Yeah.
136, Jesse Clayton, Stephen Hines.
So what's next for you indoor? Are you done?
Fully?
Oh,
I'm gonna shoot some ASAs
you're
this
going to do
year.
ASAs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go down with the booth.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. We're going down. We're having a little bit of family vacation. Tanya's mom's coming over, so we're gonna.
Bro, you shooting Thursday?
Thursday.
Team round? Team round.
Okay.
You shoot team round?
gonna cherry pick me for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going down there. I'm going to bring my bow. I don't know. Maybe team round. I don't know. I can only shoot. I can only shoot on Thursday because work. You know.
All right. Yeah, I'll come shoot team round with you. If you're asking, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'd ask you to shoot. You know, if you want to be embarrassed and lose.
So yeah, this year I'm not setting up a 50-meter bow. I told the guys I wasn't going to set up a 23 bow for indoors. I wasn't going to set up anything like that. I'm not setting up a 50-meter bow. I'm going to focus all in on 3D.
I am.
You are
setting up a 50-meter bow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, I had big deal. I finally made the USAT team, 50 plus.
That's awesome.
And I know this is like me. You know what this is? This is like a dude who shoots in his driveway, shoots basketball in his driveway, telling Michael Jordan he had a turnaround fadeaway jumper. I understand that, all right? I understand that what I'm getting ready to say, but Braden doesn't know this. Made the USAT team, and this is one of those years where when you're 50 plus, you actually get an invite to go to a shoot. So it's the Pan American Masters Championships and Youth Championships in El Salvador. So I get to go and represent the U.S. And when am I ever going to get to do that?
No, yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
But to more important stuff, it looks like Bruce Cull is going to get ready to grab that microphone and tell us all about his brainchild.
I love those pants.
Dude, the Lucky Dog. The pants are tight, for sure.
The pants play, yeah.
Pants and the shoe combo is just fantastic. Here's Bruce.
Congratulations on only missing one. How many of you would like to see a lucky dog? That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, yeah, here comes one. All right. Believe it or not, I've had that request. Well, we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. You guys all shot obviously incredibly well, and you had something happen that happens to all of us. So how many of you have been in this lucky dog line before? Don't be embarrassed. Hold your bows up, your hands up. Yeah, look at that. The majority of you. Okay. This is it. This is for the spot with the other 27. As you heard, if you win this, you can only do one of two things. Be the top of this group or win the Vegas Championship. You understand the rules? We're shooting the first end for official score with the X counting 10 regular scoring. Archers to the line, you have 1 minute and no allowance for equipment failure. Good luck.
All right, so this is scored. X is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what's going on.
One minute shot clock, 40 seconds remain.
All right, I'm definitely seeing some X's down there. So X is the highest score.
Yeah, I think Perkins kind of sets the pace. He chooses to shoot a single spot.
So he's down there on the left, I'd imagine.
Yeah, 126. He's the number one target.
He put that inside out. So
whoever's the third too. Let's see.
It doesn't matter yet. But Here's Jesse shooting his right here. Holding for a long time, but just about hitting that 1X here. It looks a little high right.
Okay, Bruce, the unofficial high score is
that was quick.
You're going to make it official. Once that's done, anything less than 10 will come down.
So I'd imagine the field probably cutting a third here. Seems to be
straight away
the rough number, yeah.
So like, let's see. So target number. Well, we're looking at what? Target 130.
138, 139. Glenn Bordwell is close. Yeah, you can just read the body language. Nobody's pumped to be here. Like this is not. You don't want to be in this moment.
So we've had two lucky dogs win, basically, right? Christopher Perkins won it one year, and then Sergio did the 50.
Yes.
Remember, it was one end. And everybody was looking around, going, "What just happened?" Exactly.
Yeah, that was the year they got rid of the regular scoring end, and the guys had sat there for 45 minutes, an hour cold, and they went out there and just shot, and yeah, it was over fast.
And then we had to sit around waiting for second and third.
Mm-hmm. That was a battle.
That's the thing. So we know, like, on the women's side of things, we know that Tanya and Ella will be center stage tonight before the shoot. They'll be shooting off. I just can't remember. We have for third place, we have 5 shooters on the compound female side, tied, and I can't remember if it's X count that does it or not.
Any podium position is a shoot-off.
Is a shoot-off.
Yes.
So we're going to have 5 women shooting off for 3rd place.
Correct. That's
That's a heartbreaker.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the names on there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Olivia Dean, Paige Pierce, Daphne Quintero, Elisa Roner, who just won last night 2 times in a row, Alexis Ruiz.
Previous Vegas winner.
Yeah, exactly. And so it looks like on the
Senior men.
Yeah, on the senior men's side, we're going to have a shoot-off for 2nd, 3rd. There are going to be 3.
Right.
3 people doing it, Lynn Hoke, Morgan London, and Bill Drake.
We got 2 more Dartons there.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's great.
Having one heck of a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we're all separated up on the recurve side of things, where Brady Ellison won that one, as well as on the female recurve side of things.
Okay.
Lim Duna, Casey Kaufhold, and Chiara Rebagliati. All right, so 27 left. That's pretty good. That's about right, right? Last 10.
Official scoring end, and your first end in which the X counts as 10 scored inside out.
So now we are going inside out.
Right, so you see a lot of guys going towards a smaller shaft arrow like an X10.
Yeah.
Or Revelation, something like that.
So that's it right there. And yesterday we showed you the shaft coming through. There is room for a 27 in here, but
barely. But yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's.
You aggressive like that? Like in these situations, you just like to get to your anchor and then just let it fly? Do you tend to take a breath?
In the Lucky Dog stuff, I settle more than normal, trying to get rid of all of that movement because everything needs to be perfect to hit that inside out. All right, we don't see any yet.
And again, keep in mind the highest score, which is inside out, that'll be a 10.
There might be one on 134 left side. Nick Cappers looks like it might be good.
Okay.
He'd be dangerous if he made it in.
Perkins way down there looks a little bit off to the right.
Perkins a little bit to the right.
All right, so we're going to wait for a judge. There's a few that are just big misses.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. If the high score is a 9, everybody with a 9 will shoot another arrow. If there's one inside out, then everybody's got to match it.
There's a couple close ones, but I don't see any that are no doubters.
Can you imagine if you win Vegas tonight and Tanya wins as well?
No, I could not imagine that at all.
You gonna buy a boat?
We're gonna buy a house first.
Buy a house.
But yeah, maybe a house with a boat. Be nice.
All right, so high score's been called, and this is it. Arrows are being pulled and targets are being ripped down. This is kind of like, there goes my heart.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Rounders. All your dreams are hopes down the drain.
All right. Well, Perkins is out. That one arrow. He's going to be thinking about that one for a while.
Yes.
Wildman from Australia is out. So, yeah, it looks like you're correct on the Capper's call.
Yep. And the way he shoots indoors, you can't count that guy out.
So we just went, what, 27?
Right, looks like Isaac Bedford is in. He's a young shooter from Canada who made a deep run last night in the 10K as well. Oh, they're looking at it. So
he got it.
He did. Okay.
I think so, yeah, because they would have ripped it down.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3 targets still standing.
Pull your arrows.
Okay. All right, since we're in Vegas, do you want to have a gentleman's bet to see if this end? Is it over in one more end, or is it going to take multiple?
Of course. All right.
What do you think?
I'm going with one more arrow. That's all it's take. That's stupid. I committed to it. One arrow.
All right, I'll take the over.
You take
on
the
that.
over?
Yep.
Damn. I mean, come on, man. That's like
All right. We'll
this
bet on ice
washing
cream
machine's
tonight.
worth $1. All right, that's fine.
Steak and shake ice cream.
You and I ice cream, both of us.
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be bad.
Ooh. They're gonna move him to the center.
I feel like maybe the loser gets to have ice cream.
Yeah, there you go.
Has to have ice cream.
Has to have it. I'm just gonna sit there and watch me eat it. Be like, eat it, stupid cow.
Gosh.
Bedford and Cappers.
Okay, so just a 2.
Yeesh. That was a 25-person cut.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Vegas Shootdowns.
and it's
Cappers,
basically a David versus Goliath moment here.
without question.
Cappers is one of the elite indoor shooters.
Also,
he's on the World Cup team
Yeah,
this year,
also part of
too,
the World
so-
Cup team. Yep.
Excuse me,
Isaac Bedford from Canada.
Look at Matthews.
Yeah. Matthews? Yeah.
I'm just looking at the video. It looks
Oh,
like a
yeah, yeah.
Matthews. TRX or
Yeah. TRX shooting a single spot. Nick Cappers. Another day in the office for Cappers. If you're Bedford, hopefully he didn't eat ice cream before this.
hey. Yeah, but Bedford, I mean, from an engineering standpoint, has the advantage with the small shaft. And then Cappers is running his standard 27s. But in this moment, everything's square.
And Nick looks the way he normally looks. He's calm,
calm
cool.
and collected, yeah.
Nice little sign of sportsmanship. Bedford World Archery Youth on the sweatshirt. Inside out.
Good luck.
All right, we're going to pull up our binoculars, guys, and keep you up to date.
Who shoots first?
Bedford's already anchored, so I would imagine his arrow goes off
Fine.
first.
I'm going to bet you $1.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. All right, I lost.
You're eating ice cream.
Okay.
All right, we're good. Gosh.
So Bedford's was just a little low left. He cut the line. It's got to be inside out. So
Right.
if you're new, what do I do with that target?
Okay, we'll do it again. This is what I meant.
And we're definitely going to do it again. So this is that X-ring that they're talking about. So basically, when your arrow hits, it can't be touching any of that line. Can't be touching any of that. So that's what inside out is called. And you can see that both of those arrows shot were connecting. Now, the other thing to keep in mind too is that if somebody didn't, like if somebody shoots an 8, it is highest score. It's not just inside out.
Right.
So if one person shoots a 9 in the yellow and one person shoots an 8, then that's victory as well.
Exactly. But with the accuracy these guys have displayed, I don't think we're going to see an 8 out here.
Yeah, me either.
That's a big 9 ring to catch misses.
All right, so let's reset a bet for ice cream number 2.
Okay.
How many more arrows are we going?
Not this one, but the next one.
I agree with you, so there's
All
no
right,
bet.
okay, no bet.
No bet.
All right, same thing, guys. X counts as 10.
And like you're saying, in terms of the engineering advantage,
Yep.
it is definitely to the Canadian Bedford.
Right. But after arrow 2, I honestly think it just comes down to skill.
Yep. And a little bit of luck.
Oh, it's always luck. You can break one dead center and still catch the line and be happy. So I'm guessing Cappers is going to fire first. Nope.
Ooh.
Real close, but no. Bedford let down.
Okay.
Yep, he's regathering himself.
32 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Cappers is. If it was on the other side, we would say yes, he caught the line.
Mm-hmm.
Just out the bottom. Same spot, basically.
The thing to remember, though, is that it is not the actual hole in the paper. It's where the arrow sits at rest. So from our perspective, we see Capper's arrow, and it's touching that line on the right side, but ultimately it will be a judge's call.
Yep.
That was quick.
Right. That's.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
do it again.
right.
All time.
His is 95% inside. It's one of those ones where it could not be any closer to the line without being inside.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here with one of the world's best archers to ever line up at a World Archery event, and he's calling one more arrow.
I'm thinking
So-
it happens here.
All right. See if you can pull together all of your experience.
Bedford showed a lot of poise there to be smart enough and controlled enough to let down in that situation. A lot of guys would just send a less than stellar arrow, and it's cool that he gathered himself and shot a good one.
It's 20 yards downrange. We're shooting at a 40-centimeter target face. We're shooting at this teeny tiny little U.S. penny-sized X ring, which is now a 10 ring. They're going inside out. This is to determine who gets to go to the Vegas Shoot 2024 as the lucky dog. And lucky dog is, you're going to go in 28th place, and you're either going to be 28th place or you're going to win it. No other options.
Right.
This is just for the opportunity to get there.
Cappers will be shooting his lower right spot.
Ooh, Cappers is so close.
I don't see Bedford's arrow. Oh, he did something weird, and it's very low right.
Yep. He might have been trying to let down.
Oh, that would make sense. Release malfunction, but I think Nick might have this one.
Doesn't matter. It's high score. Inside out was a 10. That's what I was saying before about that.
No.
Yeah.
And the lucky dog goes to Nick Cappers.
Yeah. Congratulations, Nick Cappers. Even if that was touching the line, that's a 9 points.
Right.
And unfortunately for Bedford, it was a miss.
That's wow.
I don't think we've ever had one end like that.
No, that's really anticlimactic, but I'm really happy for Nick.
Yeah, happy for Nick. Heartbroken for Bedford.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, for Isaac Bedford, he'll be back to Vegas.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year we see him get through on the 900.
So congratulations to Nick Cappers, the lucky dog, and he will be our 28th shooter.
And he gets a plaque. When did we get ice cream?
Oh, wow. Wait a second.
Oh, that's cool. I'm excited for him. All right, I'm going to dip out and go do sponsor obligations and get some lunch at Tanya.
Brayden,
so
thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll figure out that ice cream later on.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right,
Have
man.
a good night.
Thanks, buddy. Bye. So congratulations to Nick Cappers. Thanks to Brayden Galantine for joining us. And, of course, earlier in the broadcast, we had Catalina G. Noriega from USA Archery team. She's Olympic recurve. But for this guy, Nick Cappers, he is the 28th person to qualify for the 2024 Vegas Shoot. He is the lucky dog. And we have a replay of what Cappers was able to do. So for Nick Cappers, he started first. He put it in that X ring. But for the maximum score value of 10, it had to be inside out. And then that happened. Just really weird for Bedford. And he just has to laugh it off. That's all you can do. And for Nick Cappers, he didn't need the inside out to score a maximum points. He just needed to score. And Nick Cappers is your lucky dog. And of course, the way the lucky dog works, it's hero or zero when we get to the Vegas Shoot 2024 shoot off. For Nick Cappers, he's guaranteed 28th place. Or if he wins it all, he wins $58,000. And you want to check it out? Go Archery Plus. Scan that QR code down there. You can't watch it anywhere else. It's not going to be available anywhere other than right there, archery.tv. It's $4.99 for the evening, but the proceeds are going to go to the NFA Foundation and the Youth Scholarship Fund. Or if you get the yearly subscription for $30 for the entire season, the Vegas Shoot will be included in that as well. So make sure you scan that QR code. It's not any extra money at all to watch it. It's included. So make sure you go to archery.tv if you can't get that QR code to work for you, and get signed up, because it's a focal point for archery, especially for World Archery stuff all year long. Well, how about Nick Cappers? He's able to pull it off, and unfortunately for Bedford, no lucky dog for him. So we can't wait to see our coverage coming at you. Of course, go to archery.tv and get signed up, because we're going to have the Vegas Shoot 2024 for you coming up in a couple of hours. And we're going to see if Nick Cappers can take himself from 28th position, last, and the lucky dog, to be the third to win it here in Vegas. Can't wait to see you then. Take care.